of football here on 12 Sports, as tonight the home opener for Park Center as they take on the Bloomington Kennedy Eagles. Hi again, I'm Jay Wilcox along with Bill Hunstock, and thanks for joining us for high school football again here in 2014 on 12 Sports. And Bill, one of these teams has played a game already. Park Center got off to a 1-0 start, winning at Richfield. Kennedy will be making their debut tonight, both coming off kind of tough seasons, but both optimistic coming into this one.
Yeah, both teams struggled a lot last year, and both teams have newer coaching staffs this year. It's Coach Anderson's second year, Coach Strong's first year. So they're both going to be running newer offenses, newer defenses, kids still getting used to the coaching staffs and everything like that. But both teams are optimistic. Park Center for obvious reasons because they've already got a win under the belt, which took them a while last year to get into that, and they had a tough season last year. Coach Strong and his staff very confident. They feel like they've got players that can handle what they need to do and that they can put pressure on their opponents both offensively and defensively, so they both feel confident. Coach Anderson very confident about his players. They've got good size up front. They've got several good receivers and a pretty good quarterback. So it'll be interesting to see where we go with that.
Park Center, of course, has had the one game under their belt, so that's a good thing for them. I guess if there's a silver lining for Kennedy at all is that they got to go, their coaches got to go live and watch Park Center in action, so they weren't relying on secondhand notes. They were able to see the Pirates on the field, and that may help them a little bit tonight here.
And I think that's always a good thing to see your opponent in person, because then you get a good feel for their rhythm, for their physical hardness. What are they like? What's their demeanor like on the sideline and everything like that? You don't get that on film. Film is very technical, and you can really pick up what their tendencies are, but it's hard to pick up some of those more subtle nuances. And Coach Anderson and his staff felt like they got a lot of good information about Park Center last week watching them play at Richfield.
Let's talk about key players to keep an eye on in tonight's game. Of course, there'll be quite a few good ones, but we picked out a couple, both of them receivers, starting with the visitors from Kennedy. Their leading returning receiver from last year, Nate Eckerson.
Nate Eckerson's not a big guy, 5'10", 155 pounds, good speed, good hands, good moves. Coaching staff is very high on him. Doesn't have a lot of stats from last year as a junior, but they're going to throw the ball all over the yard. I expect that we'll see both teams throwing the ball. Receivers will be very, very important. Both coaching staffs feel that their four receivers are as good as anybody around. Nate Eckerson's the leading guy in that group.
And for Park Center, a guy named Adam Burge, who is a good track runner for this school. He's also had a good year last year, and he's already committed to Northern Illinois, which tells you that some people think he's a pretty good football player too.
Right. Northern Illinois is a real football program, so they're looking for some athletes, and I think that's what Adam Burge feels, is he's an athlete. He's got good talent. He's got excellent speed, good hands. He actually can play 2 or 3 or 4 different positions, offensively and defensively. So he brings a lot of variety to the mix. And I think the one thing that he has that you can't teach, you can't coach, is speed. All-out speed. Once he gets the ball in his hands, he feels like he can outrun anybody on the field. If that happens, it could be exciting.
And he had 160-plus yards and a couple of touchdowns in that opening win over Richfield. Stay tuned. The Kennedy Eagles, the Park Center Pirates, meeting for the first time since 1991 here tonight at Park Center. We'll kick off in just a moment here on 12 Sports as we get our season started. Prep Football 2014.
You watch Channel 12 at home. Why not on the go? Channel 12 is online at 12.tv. Watch on your phone, on your tablet. Channel 12 is your local source wherever you go. Just log on to 12.tv. Check out our videos, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, and even watch live events via live stream. So don't wait. Stay up to date with Channel 12 and 12.tv, your local source.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. But it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, she's putting them in the same basket again. It's like, hello, that's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
And welcome back here to Park Center as we get set to kick this one off. As we said, season opener for Kennedy, home opener for Park Center. And joining us tonight from the sideline will be the third member of our crew this evening, Ryan Iverson. And let's go down now to field level with Ryan.
Hey, we have a great story here tonight. Number 17, junior Molly Munson for Park Center. You think you guys are busy. She left a soccer game earlier this afternoon against Irondale, hustled back over, had time for a quick meal at Subway, and you'll notice her tonight. If you see a ponytail sticking out, bright orange shoes, she is the field goal and extra point kicker tonight. It is boys football, but it's football for girls here tonight, so what a fun story. Back to you guys.
Thanks so much, Ryan. And Ryan will be with us all night long and talking with the coaches at halftime and get set for this one. I think both of these teams, Bill, eager to break out and do some things football-wise that maybe they haven't really had a great opportunity to do in recent years because of playing in these real tough conferences against schools that were certainly bigger than them and, opportunity, great optimism, I think, on both sides, and that's great to see.
I think it's great. Teams have been around for a long, long time. We were talking earlier, 25 years ago, Park Center was one of the top 10 teams in the state. And they've really struggled over the years. And to start off with a nice win on the road last week, they really feel confident that they can get going. There's first-year head coach Paul Strong. He's a very confident young man, got a good group of kids, and they feel like if they play their style of football that they can be successful.
Nicholas Schaff will kick off tonight for Park Center and back to receive for Kennedy DePriest Eisenberg, number 1, and number 17, Nate Eckerson. A couple of their big play receivers are also there deep and waiting for the kickoff. Wind was probably going to be a little bit of a factor tonight, not just in the kicking game, but obviously these teams both like to throw the ball a little bit. It's not a gale force wind or anything like that, but it's blowing enough that it probably is going to have a bit of an impact.
Yeah, I think the wind will be a factor. Maybe not right at the beginning here tonight, though. It is supposed to pick up.
Kick taken, a short kick and a return to just about the 40-yard line by Kennedy's Dante Davis Barber, number 28 there, and they will get first possession here. Matthew Matt Fine, the junior quarterback. They had a 3-year starter last year, so he steps in, and they like his abilities, but he'll be making his first start tonight as we get a look at the lineups for both Coach John Anderson's Eagles and Paul Strong's Pirates. Defensively, we're going to see a lot of 4 receiver sets here tonight for both teams. Fine working out of the shotgun, a couple of receivers each side. First down play, and his pass is incomplete. Trying to go out there to Eisenberg. Eisenberg was looking for a ball right on him, and Fine led him. So an incompletion to start the night here for Kennedy.
It's a quick screen. They were looking to just hit the receiver, DePriest Eisenberg, in the flat and let him get running. A little bit of what we call a bubble type screen.
They go trips to the right this time. Park Center, they really feel like their secondary is one of their big strengths of their team, too, and they'll definitely be tested tonight. Here's a pass, and that one is complete. Going to be a little short of the first down as they go to big Joshua Bryant, the 6'4", 216-pound sophomore, and they'll pick up 9 on that completion and leaves them now with 3rd and short coming up.
And this is the advantage that Kennedy's going to have with 2 big receivers, 6'4" and 6'5". Receivers. 84 is Sean Van Sloan.
Here's what can be considered sometimes a weakness of this kind of offense. So you got 3rd and 1, and you're going to throw, and it is intercepted. Tyshawn Brooks with a diving pick for Park Center. The receiver kind of gave up on it as the throw was not close to where he was expecting it. And coming in to pick it off is Brooks.
Yeah, you can see the quarterback has to double clutch. The receiver kind of shuffled his step on his route and gave the defender a chance to step in and make the play. Very well done by by the defense.
Here's a handoff going to Rondé Berry from Lawrence Ogunti, and Park Center gets the football for the first time. And it'll be a pickup of about 3 or so for the Pirates as you get a look at their offense. Again, they've got some dangerous receivers out there. Both Hooker and Burge had great games last week. And Ogunti, nice job throwing the ball in his first opportunity. Coach Strong, he said, what are you going to do? He said, we'll do whatever the defense gives us. We're going to attack what we feel is their weakest point on any given play. That time they go with a little shovel to Burge and not a whole lot there, maybe a yard.
Nice tackle by outside linebacker Mike Hepler.
Park Center going quick here with no huddle, 3rd down and 6 for the Pirates after the early Kennedy turnover. Ogunti looking over the middle for Hooker. Just barely got his fingertips on it. Ogunti was knocked to the turf there as he threw by Brendan Hobbs, one of the defensive ends. So it falls incomplete and looks like it'll be a punting situation here for Park Center. Amani Hooker is the punter. Back deep as the single safety will be Eckerson. So Park Center forces the turnover, but then they'll go 3 and out, it looks like here. Hooker is going to put his foot to it. A good kick with the wind at his back. Fair catch. Eckerson at the 15-yard line. So about a 37-yard punt there for Hooker and no return. And we get a pretty good evidence of that wind being at Park Center's back in this first quarter there.
Absolutely, yeah. You get the ball up in the air a little bit. You get up 50, 60 feet above the surface, and the wind is a little bit stronger.
There is a look at John Anderson, the second-year head coach for the Eagles. He played his high school ball at their crosstown rival Jefferson, so he's been around Bloomington for a long time. He coached as an assistant for a while at both schools and also at St. Olaf, and now second year as the head coach for the Eagles. So their second possession, Fine handing it off. Go back up the middle there on the run for the Eagles is Chance Wynn. Had a little bit of a hole initially, but it closed up pretty quick. He'll get about 3. A couple of Pirates hanging on partially on the stop there. Hector Fofana was the second man in and catch the first one down at the bottom, but second down here for the Eagles. Park Center's homecoming 1991 was the last time these played. They were formerly both members of the Lake Conference. Pirates won that one 28-20. Pass is tipped and another interception. Picked off here by the Pirates. Abraham Johnson as the pass was up high. Bryant got his hand on it but then got hit. And that left Johnson with a relatively easy pick here. You see the ball high up into the air, that tip drill, and Johnson comes down with it, and Bryant is hurt too for Kennedy. So not only do they lose the football, but they might potentially lose one of their big receivers. You see he got drilled in the chest by Fofana as he that's why you don't like to throw the ball high over the middle, even to a pretty big kid like this.
Even to a big, strong guy like that. But he probably just has the wind knocked out of him, which is very uncomfortable and painful for a few moments, but he'll bounce back and be ready to go in the next series.
All right, good to see Mr. Bryant up and off, and I hope you're right there, Bill. And you do, I mean, there's no doubt it doesn't feel good at the time, but you'd rather have that than a leg injury or certainly head injury or anything like that.
Absolutely.
Point out officials tonight, Joe Chambers is the referee, the umpire Tom Glynn, linesman is Jeff Whitson, line judge Steve Quimby, and back judge is Andy Greeter, a former Osseo football player. It wasn't that long ago that we were calling Andy's name out here in the Northwest Suburban playing football. So good to see him giving back to the game as an official. So first down from the Kennedy 29. Great field position here for Park Center on their second possession of the night. Ogunti looking left, throwing deep for Burge, and just out of his reach and incomplete.
That was the right play call and pretty well executed. Just a tad overthrown.
They had Hooker out to the wide.
Hooker was out wide,
and just a little beyond his grasp. Boy, still that's got to scare the Kennedy defense there. They know that they could have easily given up 6 there.
That's right.
Handoff goes to Barry, and he is wrapped up and dropped. Boy, some strong hands by Ibrahim Jawara as he sent Barry to the turf there. And it'll be a short loss on the play, in fact.
Yeah, and Rondé Berry is very compact young man at 5'6", 180 pounds. He's all legs and body, and that was a pretty impressive tackle by Ibrahim Jawara just to throw Rondé Berry down.
3rd and long. Ogunti's throw is high, and it's intercepted. Picked off here by Kennedy's Peyton Morales, so very similar to the previous one where the throw was just a little high. Receiver gets a hand on it, and it is intercepted. Caught right in stride by the safety Morales.
And the receiver went way up to get that ball, and the ball just tipped off his hands. And that's, pretty much 2 plays almost back to back here where the tip ball has been the hard thing to deal with, and turnovers so far making the statement. But you have to convert your turnovers into something other than just a turnover.
From the 34, 1st down. Wynn takes the handoff here. He is wrapped up by Fofana for Park Center, but not a bad gainer to start the drive here. Give him about 4, it looks like, on that 1st down. And both teams kind of, you run the ball a little bit, keep them honest, and you have to pay attention to that fullback, or you give up. And that's the thing that a lot of people don't realize. A lot of times you look at some of these spread offenses, they really run the ball well out of it.
Absolutely. That's one of the things that the spread offense was originally designed to do, was to give you some flexibility with the run game.
Fine, we'll go back to Wynn here, and he will have a 1st down carry out over the 45. Burge coming up from the safety spot to drop him, but nice pickup there of about 8 for Kennedy.
And Chance Wynn, another pretty compact running back at 5'8", 170 pounds. Again, those shorter, thicker running backs seem to be very good at getting in behind linemen and finding the seam that they're looking for and being able to break the run off.
So 1st down for Kennedy from the 46-yard line. Little option left. Fine fakes the pitch, breaks a tackle, bounces off one of his own guys, and then he knew he was going to get a hit, so he kind of turned his back and braced for it and gets knocked down. So actually a pretty elusive run, and he'll get about 3 out of it.
He did a nice job with the ball, making sure that he made a fake and got a couple of guys to kind of freeze for a second, and then was able to get upfield. Not a bad gain. He ran probably 15 yards to get 3.
I got to think Brian DuBose is going to get a little grief watching film because he got knocked over by his quarterback there. He was in the way, and he was trying to get out of the way, and he got actually knocked over by Fine. 2nd and 7 here for the Eagles, just shy of midfield. They've turned the ball over twice already. Park Center's turned it over once, and there's a nice breakup on that pass. Abraham Johnson, who had the interception earlier for Park Center, gets his right hand on that one and swats it away. So it will bring up 3rd and long here for Kennedy as we're nearing the halfway point through this opening quarter here. And we'll have more football for you coming up Friday night as Brecken Providence do battle here in this opening week, or opening full week of the season. We have 0 week games last week for some teams, including obviously Park Center. Here's the 3rd down play. Fine under pressure, dumps the screen off. It's complete, and it will be a 1st down and more inside the 40-yard line as Max Simmons on the reception, and we'll pick it up here for Kennedy.
Good pressure by Terrence Howard, but the quarterback, Matt Fine, is able to get the ball away just before he gets hit on the screen to the left side and makes a pretty good play out of it.
Boy, they had the play call. At first, when you see Howard coming free, you're thinking if you're Kennedy, oh no, but they got it just perfect timing on that screen, and they had it pretty well blocked. So here we go from the 38 of Park Center now. Kennedy looking to march. Here's Fine rolling to his right, fires complete to Eckerson. Hooker throws him out of bounds. Not a whole lot of gain on that one. It looks like they'll be shy of the 35-yard line, so only about a 2-yard pickup. But those are the type where you complete it and say, maybe we can break something off. If not, we've still got something.
And with that particular receiver, Eckerson, with good speed and good moves, you know, if he breaks one tackle, he, you know, 7-8 yards is going to be right there for him.
2nd and 8 here for the Eagles. They're in the new Metro West Conference this season, and it's quarterback draw here. Fine takes off, slips through a tackle, knocked loose, and a big scramble for it. Who's got it? Hooker, I think, forced that fumble, and see who's going to come out of there with it.
There was a big scramble. It looked like
Kennedy
Part
gets it
Center.
back.
Yeah, it looks like Part Center might have a chance at it.
Recovery
But
for the Eagles.
One of the offensive linemen, looks like one of the offensive linemen got on it.
Samuel Chesky able to recover it.
Give him credit for the first down.
Yeah, there you see Amani Hooker definitely ripped it out. But Eagles able to dodge a bullet and avoid their 3rd turnover, and they end up getting a nice gainer out of it. So first down for Kennedy here. Fine, rolling to the right, tucks it up, and then is dropped from behind there by Howard. Pretty good job of avoiding the first guy. We've got a holding penalty, it looks like, coming up on the play, and we do.
Yeah, there was a flag thrown by the referee in the offensive backfield. So that obviously is an indication of a hold. Mr. Chambers is going to give us the word here in a moment.
Park Center, not much debate that they will take this penalty here, certainly.
Yeah, the result of the play was a minimal gain, but better to take the 12-yard, net 12 yards or so on the penalty. Actually closer to 14 yards. That's a spot foul in the offensive backfield, so.
Fine handing it off. Simmons fumbles it, and Fine is back on it. So the Eagles have fumbled twice on this drive, but they keep the ball. The quarterback did a good job of not going to sleep and not watching the play anymore. Simmons, you see, gets belted right there. That was Fofana, who's already made some good plays there for Park Center defensively.
Yeah, Hector Fofana's had a couple of nice hits and a couple of good plays, and you know, Kennedy is got to be careful. You know, they always tell us take care of the rock, fellas. You know, you can't do anything if you don't protect the football.
2nd down, about 29 here for the Eagles. High snap, but Fine gets it. He wants a screen, and he has to throw it away as he was under heavy pressure and had to toss that one away. And Park Center are wondering about, okay, who is he really throwing that to?
Yeah, who is he throwing to? He threw it right into the ground. And there was a receiver there, but he pretty well hit the defensive lineman in the foot. Now, I don't know if they're going to. Yeah, it looks like Kennedy is going to either line up to look like they're going to run a play and then back off and punt it. What's third?
Fine takes a snap now, throwing long up the right side, and Brooks makes a great effort. Let's see, I think he was out of bounds though.
Yep.
And it will be an incompletion as they took a shot. They had the one receiver out to that side and tried to go to Gabriel Sinner.
And he has replaced Joshua Bryant for this series.
Oh yeah,
Nice
effort though.
Nice effort.
Heck of a catch. Brooks already had one interception that was a beauty, and that was a great catch too. Just not able to stay in bounds, however.
So now
gonna have a timeout. It looks like taken by Kennedy. I'm not sure they had everybody as needed out on the field. Anders Jelasinski will be on to punt, but first they're gonna have a timeout. And so good entertaining start to this one, but we've had turnovers have been a big part of the first quarter, but you like the way that the defenses have stepped up and made some plays early on, but also a little bit of good offense there for Kennedy so far too.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll have to be putting our new app on my iPad.
Just step over it. Yeah.
Park Center will be home against Blake coming up on the 5th of September, and then they have a bye the following week because of that playing that 0-week game. You don't just get a whole extra week all season. You have to take a week off somewhere in there, and that's when theirs is coming up. Burge is back deep, the speedster for Park Center. Jelesinski has the snap go right through his hands, and he's just going to have to fall on it way back at the 32-yard line. Wow. I'm not sure if he wasn't ready for the snap count there.
Yeah.
It wasn't a perfect snap. It was definitely a little high.
Just above
but
his eyes. Yeah.
Certainly something he should have had, and at this point, I think probably did the wise thing there and not try to do anything special and pick it up.
You try to pick it up, the ball's going to squirt a direction you don't want it to, and that's essentially the third turnover in 3 possessions for Kennedy. I'm sure not the way Coach Anderson obviously wanted to start the season, but certainly not what they expected to happen. So they've got to find a way to take care of the rock a little bit better.
Little wishbone look here out of Park Center right now, and they'll go with the toss out to Hooker. Trying to follow Burge and also Barry, and Hooker lowers the shoulder at the end of that run and finishes it strong. And he will pick up the first down with ease, about a 14-yard gain. How do you like that? We run a lot of 4 receiver sets, and then they come out in a wishbone and run some power at him.
Yeah, and boy, he finished that run with a good, strong hit on Peyton Morales. Coaches love to see an aggressive running back. They love to see a running back lower his shoulder and put a licking on somebody that's trying to knock him down.
Well, we talked about the versatility of these guys, Burge and Hooker and some of the other skill guys for Park Center. So you got Barry functioning as the up back, a fullback in this wishbone, and had 2 talented guys in the backfield with him, and one receiver split out to the right. Much more of a power set here, throwing Kennedy off a little bit, I'm sure. From the 18, they'll go toss the other way. Adam Burge trying to get to the outside, knocked backward. He's going to spin around. Burge in trouble, and he's going to lose all the way back to the 29, a loss of 11 on the play. Kennedy had that one smelled out pretty well, and you realized he wasn't going to get around the edge and tried to bounce it back, and it just didn't happen.
It was well played defensively by Nicholas Badwa, and forcing Adam Burge to get back into the backfield. That's the way you like to see your outside player, your edge player, your flank player force the run, not get hooked by the block, and force the running back inside.
Park Center seems a little unsure of themselves coming out of the huddle here, what they're going to do. Back judge looking at his watch. He's got to be getting close here. Agunti rolling out, looking for Hooker, and his pass is off his hands and incomplete. He wasn't quite sure what shoulder to look for that one over. He got turned around a little bit and still almost came up with it.
Yeah, he gets completely turned around. Ball hits off his hands, and that would have been a great catch had he made it. And a great effort by Amani Hooker, but just not quite there. And that's the second time that Agunti has had a ball hit off the hands of a receiver getting a good distance downfield. But now we're at 3rd and very long for the Pirates here.
Back to a 4 receiver set with Barry in the backfield next to Agunti. Throwing it up the seam for Burge, and he's got it. Touchdown, Park Center. 29-yard strike. They nearly had that one earlier. This time they connect.
Yep, and that was obvious right from the lineup. There was one outside backer was committed to the inside, and Burge just had the seam all by himself. And you can see that neither the safety nor the corner had a chance on that, with Hooker wide to the outside. Burge right up the seam.
And Molly Munson will come on to attempt the extra point here for Park Center. And her kick is up, and it is good. And with 2:50 to play in the first quarter, Park Center strikes first. A 29-yard pass, Lawrence Ogunde to Adam Burge. And Park Center leads it now 7-0.
Well protected by the offensive line, and a very, very good look by Lawrence Ogunte. Got a little bit of time to throw. Adam Burge stayed right where he needed to be. He didn't drift wide. He didn't come back up the middle. Stayed right on that seam and forced the play. And my guess is that Molly Monson is the leading female scorer in the state of Minnesota right now.
It reminded me back, you remember when Dan Nystrom's younger sister for Cooper, Mary was their
yep.
kicker. And that's certainly maybe not the only one, but the last one I remember that was a regular kicker and did well for quite a while. And that goes back a decade at least.
At least, yeah.
So Coach Strong has to be happy with that. I think they felt like they maybe missed on an opportunity or two earlier, and this time they were able to take advantage and put it in the end zone. Despite the big loss on the running play, good job not to hang their head after that too.
Yeah, one of the things that they felt was that they have the ability to not let mistakes bother them as much as they have in the past, and that certainly is true right there. You know, you have your one of your key players gets thrown for an 11 or 12-yard loss, and then you come right back the next play and throw a touchdown pass.
Schaaf kicks it. I don't know what happened there. If the ball, can't believe that was what they wanted to do there, as he ends up kicking it right to Grant Johnson. Schaaf's a new in from Germany, and I think the ball was starting to come off the tee, and he just kind of half-heartedly kicked it. They're over there talking to him right now.
Well, and sometimes you like to kick to a spot on the field. That was one of the things that we always felt was important, is being able to spot kick and just get the ball over the head of the front guy and maybe find a soft spot around the 30 or 40-yard line, but that was just a little too low.
So from the 48, Kennedy with great field positions. They get it back. They hand it off now. Eisenberg trying to get around the edge. Howard chasing him, and there's Fofana again, making a stop in the backfield, as Kennedy will lose about 8 on that play. So both teams showing some speed defensively here. Howard first forced him back. And then another play, if we're looking for defensive player of the game, Fofana's throwing his hat in the ring early on here, isn't he?
Right, and you got great help from Terrence Howard from his defensive end position to get out there and maintain some leverage and give him the chance to fill that lane from the inside out from his inside backer position.
We had a chance to talk to Howard in the preseason for our season preview, and what a nice guy and very well spoken. I mean, he was ready for this senior season to be a good one for his team, and certainly a key cog in that.
Right, and I think several of the Park Center seniors are feeling that way. I know Adam Burge has felt like they're on the doorstep to being able to play some pretty good football, and so far they're showing it against a team that's got some notable weapons. But I see that Joshua Bryant is back in the game.
3rd down and 18 here for Kennedy. Fine, rolling to his left under a little bit of pressure, throws on the run, and Eckerson's going to run out of real estate. I didn't quite come up with it anyway, but was going to be out of bounds. As tough throw on the run. Actually, not too bad a throw, but just ran out of field there. And Eckerson made a great effort.
Eckerson did everything he did to keep his feet in, but Fine just had to get rid of it and didn't quite get his shoulders turned enough to be able to get the ball upfield, and the ball floated on him just a little bit. Going out to your left, a right-handed quarterback has to really force his left shoulder around the corner to get faced upfield properly to get the ball launched.
Jelasinski with the punt. Park Center is not going to attempt to field it here, and it will die at the 30-yard line, kicking into the wind there. A punt of about 27, 28 yards there. So Park Center electing that it was going to be a tough one to field into the wind, and they're going to get decent field position anyway, I guess.
Right.
So They will start it on their 30-yard line, leading 7-0. A minute 38 to play here in the opening quarter. Along with Bill Hunstock and Ryan Iverson, I'm Jay Wilcox. Our first football telecast of the season here on 12 Sports. Ogunti with Barry next to him. 3 receiver set. Hands it off to Barry around the left side. Barry fought off the first tackler and then wrapped up and dropped by Simmons. He'll get a gain of 7 on that carry.
And here we see Rondé Barry getting around the corner this time. Got a little bit of a running lane. The corner came up in pretty good order, but Barry is able to find the seam, turn upfield, and get about a 6 or 7 yard gain. Looks like a 7-yard gain.
Now the pass out in the flat to Burge. Makes the first guy miss. Burge turning it up. He nearly ran through that second tackle entirely, and there's a flag at the end of the play here. It's going to be a first down, but it looks like it might be a late hit on Park Center, perhaps. And there's Burge running, and then right at the end there's a hit. Kind of a blindside shot. Fofana, we've given him some praise here, but that one might have been a little unnecessary.
Yeah.
So my guess is that the first down will count, and then, well, maybe not though.
Now, if it was part of the play, that it'll be a personal foul, 15 yards from the point of the foul. And if it's not a first down, it'll replay the down, so it won't be. So it'll be second down again.
Yep, I was thinking perhaps post-play, but not the case.
Yep.
And good to see up heading to the sideline is Dante Davis Barber there, as he got, the blindside hit. I don't know that the hit was super late, but just the way it was taken,
it was
kind of
just a bad angle.
Yeah.
I think that the hit by Fofana was just, it was a personal foul, so that means it was, wasn't probably a clip because it was above the waist, so he was just hit him on the blind side, and that's usually going to get a flag, especially if you're away from the ball at the end of the play. So, they're now they have first and 10. All right.
Some question about, handoff goes to Barry, and the fired up Eagles defense drops him immediately after a short gainer.
Rondé Barry really didn't have any place to go that time. It was good pursuit by the defense all the way down the line of scrimmage.
So second down and about 9 here for Park Center. 15 seconds to play in this opening quarter. Hooker now the quarterback. Hooker burrows forward just shy of the 35-yard line. He'll pick up about 4, and that should be the final play here of the opening quarter, and it will be so. Park Center getting on the board once. They will take a lead here after 1. Our score, Park Center 7, Kennedy nothing. The second quarter's up next.
Can't seem to put down that toy all day long. Tap, 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 tap. Oh, and she even talks to it. She talks to that more than she talks to him. What's up, bro? Nice shirt. Who's she talking to? Her mom? She talks to her mom a lot.
Mom, can we get some ice cream? Please, Mom, please.
No, we're having dinner soon.
Please.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of children in foster care who will take you just as you are.
Welcome back here to Park Center High School in Brooklyn Park. Our season opener on 12 Sports. A non-conference matchup here as Kennedy and Park Center do battle. Park Center leading 7-0 on a touchdown pass from Lawrence Ogunte to Adam Burge late in that first quarter. Turnovers a big story in the first. A couple of turnovers by Kennedy and 2 more fumbles that they got back. And Park Center had 1 turnover as Coach Paul Strong trying to get his team off to a 2-0 start. It'll be 3rd and 7 coming up here for Park Center. They had a costly penalty that wiped out or pushed back a big gainer a moment ago. Pirates making a late substitution here. Looks like it's Caleb Sink coming back onto the field.
Looks like Adam Burge has a cut on his arm, so they have to bandage it up.
Bucky, you're not here tomorrow? You missed the
Ogunte out in the flat, hits Brooks. Brooks gets a block, and he might go down the sideline. Good angle, though, for Simmons. He'll drag him down at around the 30-yard line. No flags on the – oh, I'm sorry, there is a flag on the play. Back on the far hash mark. And perhaps this one will be coming back. We'll see. Maybe not.
I don't. Unless somebody was on the left side was moving.
You know what? I thought I might have seen a signal. They might have thrown a flag for a sideline warning on Kennedy.
Oh, that's exact.
That's the horse collar right there.
I'm sorry. They're making.
It was a sideline warning, but he indicated.
He may have just possibly pointed the wrong way.
I think he pointed the wrong direction because he pointed towards Park Center, and I think he meant Kennedy. Yeah, sideline discipline is extremely important. You can see on the field the yellow space. That is considered the coach's zone. Players have to stay behind that gold or yellow piece along the sideline. That gives the linesman and the headlines and the line judge opportunity to move along the sideline.
Ogunte up the middle, stacked up, but he will pick up 3, maybe 4 yards. The forward progress will be to about the 28. So after that 37-yard completion to Brooks, Park Center in business here. Yeah, they'll spot it on the 29-yard line, so give him 3.
I didn't see that at all.
2 receivers each side here. Barry in the backfield next to Ogunte here. Early second quarter. Park Center trying to build on a 7-0 lead. A little bit of a high snap, and then it's dropped. They handed it off there to Kyle Schnobrick, and he was trying to give it back, and that one just looked a little disjointed right from the start. They're fortunate to get it back.
Yeah, that
never
ball
really had it.
Schnobrick had the ball hit him in the left arm and went right to the floor. I don't know if he had his hands and arms in the wrong position or not, but nonetheless, the ball ends up on the floor and Park Center loses back, so it makes a 3rd and 11 or 12.
Back to about the 34-yard line. Ogunte throwing under pressure. Flag is down. It's incomplete, but flags everywhere, and it looks like it's probably going to be a defensive pass interference as Brooks got knocked down. 2 different officials throw flags. They're just conferring to make sure they've got the same thing, but it certainly would appear as though it were going to be a flag on the defensive back. Well, we have a flag in the backfield too, though.
Oh my goodness, we got flags all over the place here.
2 of them down near where the ball landed, but 1 back behind the line of scrimmage. So perhaps this will all offset.
My guess is we had obviously a pass interference and probably a hold in the offensive backfield.
Or could it have been a late hit on the quarterback? Yeah, let's see.
And unfortunately, I didn't see that.
We'll get the explanation here from Joe Chambers. It is pass interference. That is declined, but it is roughing the passer, I think. Or he didn't signal roughing the passer, but it came back near where the ball was thrown. You see Brooks right there.
Not
as much as it's first appeared there. I think Brooks sold that one pretty well. You kind of feel a little bit for the defensive back there, Schmitz. I don't.
Schmidt didn't really get much of a push.
But it would have. They'll end up with the penalty yardage anyway on the personal foul.
Right. Either one of them would have been a 15-yard penalty. In high school football, pass interference is 15 yards from the previous spot, not a spot foul.
Right. If you were talking an NFL game, you would have said, well, we'll obviously take the downfield yardage from the pass. But
no, personal foul looked like a forehead into the chest of Gunty. Probably is what drew the foul there. You haven't really talked about it yet, but there's a huge emphasis, not only here in Minnesota, but nationwide, on protecting players, particularly from head injuries. And taking the head out of contact is a point of emphasis in every officiating level this year, particularly in high school football. And I think that was just an indication right there. It looked to me like the defensive player initiated contact with his head.
There's a handoff to Barry, and he is wrapped up and thrown to the turf there roughly by DeAndre Brown, one of the leading returning defensive players here for Kennedy.
And DeAndre Brown, a nice-sized middle linebacker.
6 foot 265. Yeah.
That's a large high school linebacker. And you can see he's pretty well put together. He's thick through the shoulders and through his middle. And he's got big, strong legs.
Second and 11. Ogunti under pressure, throws complete to Hooker. He breaks a tackle. Hooker's going to get in for the touchdown. 19-yard strike. About 14 of it through the air, and then Hooker breaks through a tackle, and he is in for his third TD of the season.
And Amani Hooker making a nice grab on a pretty well-thrown ball, but that was a nice grab by Hooker, and makes a nice move after he catches the ball. Nice grab behind him, and right there made a nice move and gets a broken tackle at the 4 and gets into the end zone.
Yeah, the defender there initially looked like he was trying to come up and make a play on the ball, and he didn't really make much of a tackle. I mean, he just kind of pushed him in the back, and Hooker took care of it. There's Monson going 2 for 2 now on extra points as she knocks it through. And with 9:29 to play here in the first half, our score becomes 14-0 Park Center.
Here we can see Gunte getting the ball off, and not much of an effort to make the hit on Hooker after he caught it. It'll be a point for your D-back that, you don't just push, you wrap up.
Yeah, no doubt you give credit to Hooker there, but at the same time, that was a less than stellar tackle attempt, I would say.
Absolutely.
Eddie Sadie now will kick off for Park Center. Now we talked about Monson getting here from the Way soccer game.
Right.
Her game started at 3. Eddie Sadie, the boys soccer team, started at 5, so I don't think he was here when the game started. And let's be honest, that last kickoff by Schaff isn't probably going to endear him to the coaches that much, so Sadie's going to get his opportunity right here. It looks like he's going to ask that the ball be held. Eddie Sadie, I can tell you from watching Pirate soccer, has a tremendous leg.
Does he
is
really?
A really good player on the soccer field, but I think he's having an issue right now with either the tee or the ball. Is just not wanting to stand up right. And there, I was going to say, you might want to get yourself turned around or you're going to get booted there.
Unless he's left. Well, soccer guys can kick it with either foot, right?
Well, that's true. Isaac Mansfield was on the wrong side there for a moment. I thought, oh, this could be bad.
It'll be interesting.
So Sadie will boot it here, again kicking into the wind this direction. Low spinner, and it is going to go out of bounds. Good decision there by Eisenberg. He was hoping at that point that it was going to go out, and it did. Not an easy one to field by any means.
Not at all.
So smart play there, certainly by Eisenberg, to let that ball bounce. And Kennedy will have pretty decent field position here. They've definitely shown some signs of being able to move the ball, but
Absolutely.
just too many mistakes, turnovers, and near turnovers to have them, moving up the field and into the end zone.
Right, and they've had 2 or 3 pretty good offensive plays. They moved the ball consistently with one of their drives, and then just kind of stalled out. And they really need to find some consistency in their offense. They need to settle down and do what they do well. If they're going to throw the ball and catch it, and let's go with it.
Kennedy football at the 35. Matt Fine 3 for 11 with a couple of picks so far for the Eagles. 3 receivers out to his left, 1 to the right. And he will hand it off, and Wynn has a lot of room before he's ridden down after a pickup of about 8. Again, you get everybody all spread out and a little counter action, and Wynn has a huge gap to run through before Fofana brings him down.
Yep, that I don't know if they're slanting, but there was a good pickup on a good trap by the Kennedy offense, and Chance Wynn got a nice hole into the second level.
Second and short, handoff again, going to Wynn. He'll pick up the first down. Just tripped up as he spins over midfield. Getting a hand on him there was Dietrich Potter Jackson for Park Center, but it'll be a first down. Eagles into PC territory.
So 2 nice runs by Chance Wynn, getting the ball over midfield for the Eagles.
Got Bryant split out to the right, and 3 receivers this side. Going to go right back to Wynn off the left side, and dragged down on the play there by Taylor Comstock, but another pretty nice pickup there of about 5.
Well, run it until they stop it. It's the same play, just run the same play to either side, getting a couple of pretty good blocks up front, and leaving the linebackers kind of hanging on one there.
Go back to Wynn. He's stacked up and driven backward after a pickup of about 2, maybe 3. And we'll bring up a third down here for Kennedy.
So the 4th time you run it, they stop it.
Yeah, didn't get quite as much as I thought on that spot.
Yeah.
He's about halfway between the 42 and the 43-yard line. So short gainer there, and third down for the Eagles. 7:20 to go here in the second quarter, and Park Center leading at 14-0. 1 touchdown in each quarter so far for the Pirates. Fine, throwing out to the right, and the pass is complete for the first down. Submarining there on the tackle was Brooks, but held on to anyway by Sean Van Sloan, the other of the 2 tall wideouts. They have a couple of quick slot guys, and they have a couple of tall ones on the outside, and Van Sloan hauls it in for the first down.
Van Sloan makes a really nice grab here, getting up high, taking the ball. Both quarterbacks have had a little bit of a tendency to the ball sail on them tonight, and having those 6'5" receivers helps.
Option to the left. Wynn takes the pitch and brought down at the 31 after a 4-yard pickup. It looked like that one had pretty good promise initially. Park Center pretty sure on the tackling there,
Yep.
and limiting him to 4, but still not a bad gainer here. A little bit different too, Bill, in the contrast to that, they're running So a lot of the same formations,
Right.
but a much slower tempo for Kennedy, whereas Park Center trying to come quick
Trying to
with a
come
lot
up
of
a little
no
bit.
huddle.
Yep. And Kennedy being a little bit more measured with their pace right now.
I think
But
they've got a little more size and also a little more depth. They're not playing as many guys two ways certainly as Park Center is, and they're maybe hoping that'll show up later. Here's Fine stepping up. Howard is going to wrap him up and drag him down with help from Comstock. And a sack there.
Yeah, Howard and Comstock, the two ends. Howard makes the first contact, wraps him up around the waist, and then Comstock hits him from behind and drives him down. Pretty well done by both the defensive ends. Loss of about, what, 4? Make it 3rd and 10.
Yep, put him pretty much right back to what the scrimmage line was on when this set of downs started here. So from the 35-yard line, 1st down and 10, 5:20 now to go here in the second quarter. Key 3rd down here for both teams, really. They're probably in 4-down territory here. Fine looking to throw down the left sideline, and he's got a man, but just overthrowing Bryant. And it's incomplete. Boy, he was out there. Park Center had a couple like that early, too, where you say, oh, wow, he's there, but just not. And there again, you got the wind at your back. You maybe get a little more on it than you wanted.
A little bit more distance than you thought when you let it go. And Bryant just not quite able to stretch out and get out there. The sophomore, just a stride or so short. But that sends a big warning to the D-backs. The D-backs have to be aware that these big receivers can still get outside and get upfield on them.
So a 4th down play now for Kennedy, and as I suspected, they are in a spot where they will go for it. Here's Fine stepping in. He's going to throw long the other way, and it is incomplete, out of bounds. Brooks had good coverage on Van Sloan, and they just ran out of room to make a play. Not a bad idea, though, there for Kennedy, because even if that one gets picked off, it's just as good as a punt, and you give your guy a chance, except for he didn't quite keep it on the field.
Right.
So Park Center's defense holds, and they will get the football back with plenty of time. 5:02 to go here in the second quarter, and Park Center football, pretty solid field position, too, at their 35-yard line. Hooker will be the quarterback. And again, this isn't something that's that unusual or that's completely unexpected. They're going to rotate some guys and get them snaps in different positions. High snap. Hooker is going to run it to the left side. Gets a pretty good block. Hooker forced out of bounds. A little shy of midfield. Is that a flag there on the 40-yard line? Looks like it might be. Yeah, it looks like there is going to be a flag on this one.
And with Amani Hooker, I think more often than not, when he's lined up in the quarterback or the tailback's position, he's going to be running. We have a hold against Park Center.
The good news is this came downfield a ways, so it's not going to hurt them, as much as it had been way in the backfield, but it does take away a pretty good gainer.
Right, takes about a 5-6 yard gain away. Makes it a 1st and 15, 1st and 14 for Park Center.
Hooker still at the quarterback slot. Barry in the backfield next to him. Hooker looking to throw, now steps up and he will take off and he has room. Look at him go. Great speed. Amani Hooker gets a downfield block and he is going to go, but a flag comes flying. This one's going to come back. Would have been a 69-yard run, but it is coming back. Downfield block ruled to be not legal. It's a hold.
Yeah, way downfield. There's a hold right about there. And so it'll be a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul, still be a 1st down, but negates a touchdown. One of the things Coach Strong was telling us before the game was one of the things that they felt like they really need to correct is the mistakes. Here they had three touchdowns called back last week in a very close ball game, and here we have another one tonight, which would have given them a 3-touchdown lead. So this is something that the players have to be aware of when you're downfield and the guy is running at you, don't hit anybody. Don't grab anybody. Get in somebody's way, but make sure your body and your hands are legal.
From the 45, give to Barry. So part of that run counted because the block was so far downfield. About a 6-7 yard gain maybe for Barry there on first down. A little bit of what has been effective at times for Kennedy tonight. To have defense spread out and then pop one through up the middle as Barry gains 6. Second down and 4 coming for Park Center. You know, I think initially that block was a pretty good one, but he just, as Hooker started to get near him, the defender was breaking away. Oh, a great catch by Ogunti. Gives it off to Barry, and he fights forward to not quite the first down marker, but fairly close after, boy, a tremendous catch by the quarterback there.
Boy, there have been 6 or 7 high snaps tonight, and if you watch the center's hips, if the center keeps his hips down, the ball will come right to the middle of the quarterback's chest. But if his hips come up, even just a couple of inches, that ball's going to sail on him. And that's what Fafana has had a little bit of a problem with tonight, is he's had 6 or 7 balls that have been almost out of the reach of Gunty and Hooker.
Boy, when I saw that one on replay, I mean, that was even a better catch than I realized. that snap wasn't just a floater. That thing had some pace, and it was quite high. And he made not only did he catch it, but he still caught it in time to still make that handoff, too. So that's a bigger play than maybe what you realize initially.
Absolutely. And you know, to make a one-hand grab, control the ball, and hand the ball off to a guy who isn't really watching the ball is a pretty good athletic move. You see Coach John Anderson there on the sideline. Wanted to make sure that his lads are pulling it together defensively. They've got, you know, probably, I don't know if critical is the right word, but certainly an important third down here. 3rd and short. If you stuff them here and force them into a 4th down decision, you got a chance. If they get the first down, you've got to regroup, and they're deeper in your territory. So for Kennedy, this is an important down. For Park Center, they're probably considering themselves in 4 down territory and say we can make a yard in 2 downs.
Looks like they're going to go with more of a power set here as Malik Taylor into the backfield along with Barry and Burge, and back to that wishbone look. Hooker at the quarterback spot. And Hooker drops it. Flags fly on the play. I don't think Park Center was set very well anyway. And there's sometimes the issue with, you know, you're looking to do so many multiple, you know, be very multiple and do a lot of things, and sometimes it's hard to get everybody on the same page, and you see they're going to cost themselves 5 right there. Particularly when you have to make substitutions, be it injury or fatigue or whatever.
Right.
I think that, you know, it's tough.
Yeah, everybody's, you know, when you're particularly running a faster paced offense, everybody has to know where they are. Everybody's got to get set, and everybody has to know the snap count. And the player calling the snap count, whether it's, you know, Hooker or Ogunti at quarterback, they've got to make sure that they take control verbally of the line of scrimmage, that everybody can hear what they're saying.
3rd and 7. The snap taken by Burge on that sweep. Runs into his own blocker, then tossed out of bounds, and that is going to be a personal foul as he is thrown out of bounds late there by Simmons. A costly mistake right there for Kennedy, although we also had a flag in the backfield. Yeah. Another play with multiple fouls.
Yeah, this particular stretch of this series, the play is a little sloppy here.
Boy, they really had Burge stopped and just couldn't resist taking that last throw to get him out of bounds.
And there wasn't so much that, you know, that they grabbed him out of bounds. So when he threw him down, he was past the goal area. He's got a hold, and we're going to end up with a personal foul. So
The hold was right there
Yep.
in the backfield.
and see right there,
Oh yeah,
it's the spin. It's the spin and the throw. He actually got his hands on Burge right about the sideline, but it's the spin and then the throw down that really makes it right there.
He tried to pull off when he
Yeah.
realized, but it was too late then. Wasn't
And that's tough because he had Burge right on the sideline, but that extra spin and throw was just the last straw for the official.
trying to get it sorted out here where
Yeah.
the spot is going to end up being.
Well, and since both of them are, since the hold was in the backfield, it was a little bit more. It ended up being offsetting, but the offset favored Kennedy. So now instead of gone from being 3rd and 1
well,
to
they
now
had the
being 3rd and
previous
7.
No, they had the previous penalty. They put
Right.
it back at this spot too, though.
Right. But they penalized back 10 and then back forward 15.
Right.
So
So from the 41, here we'll go with another 3rd down snap here. 3.5 to go in the first half. Ogunti's throw complete. Brooks. And Brooks, good effort, fights forward. He has the first down. He'll be knocked out of bounds around the 30-yard line. So give him 11 on that completion. Well, Brooks is a guy that we, didn't talk about as much as
Right.
Burge and Hooker, but he's had some big impact on this game already. Had the interception,
yeah.
couple catches for 48 yards, and Coach Strong was quick to make sure that he was mentioning him too as far as playmakers
Absolutely.
when we asked about it.
Yep.
And I can see why. Now from the 30, Ogunti fakes the handoff. He's got some room, and right up the middle he goes, and then spins his wheels, and down he goes at around the 18. Give him a dozen as he slipped on that turf, but will pick up the first down as he tried to make a move on the safety.
A very nice read by Lawrence Ogunti to make that play and get up into the secondary, and just slipped on the edge of his shoe as he was making the cut.
First down, Pirates trying to go up by 3 scores here late in the first half. Hand off to Barry, wrapped up and thrown back. Not a whole lot of a gainer there. Solid job defensively there for Kennedy by Hepler, I should say. And really no gain, it looks like, for Barry. 2nd and 10 for Park Center. They're in a good spot time-wise here. They don't have to be in any hurry at all, but they also aren't going to leave Kennedy with a whole lot of room to go the other way.
No, not at all.
Ogunti, good protection, fires, complete to Hooker. Hooker trying to break free, but the tackle made after a gain of about 5.
And again, this is the play that Hooker scored the touchdown on. Better tackling. You make the play instead of giving up a 15, 16-yard touchdown. It's a 6-yard completion, and you got 3rd and medium.
3rd and 5. Ogunti throwing complete to Brooks for the touchdown. Park Center on the board for the 3rd time here in this first half.
Nicely done by Lawrence Ogunti, getting the ball to Brooks. 3 touchdown passes, 3 different receivers. Nicely thrown ball, right where your receiver Brooks has a chance to make the play, and his body shields him from the cornerback, who can't make the play, and the safety was out of position. So well done by the Park Center offense there.
Munson is on for the extra point, and it is good. She's 3 for 3, and Park Center now stretches the lead to 21-0 here late in this first half.
You see, it's just a well-executed play. The safety was held by one of the receivers on the other side of the formation. Brooks only had to make the inside move to get the open and put the cornerback on his hip. And Ogunti gets him the ball.
So Park Center striking for the third time all through the air in this first half, kind of picking up where they left off last week over at Richfield, and will hold a 21-0 lead, and Sadie will kick off. Kennedy hoping to try and get a good return and see if they can't set themselves up to at least, take a shot at getting on the board here before the end of the half. Strong kick by Sadie into the wind. Eisenberg back to the 2. Makes the first man miss. Eisenberg showing some elusiveness here. He is free. Eisenberg into Pirate territory and still going all the way down to the 33-yard line. 65-yard return by DePriest Eisenberg, and there's a shot in the arm for the Eagles.
Right, and we thought that DePriest Eisenberg had some pretty good speed and would be a good kick returner, but watch the tenacity and the toughness. He does not go down easily, and that massive 140 pounds that he's carrying isn't going to punish anybody, but he does. He's a good, tough runner when he has the ball. He's got very, very good speed.
Just what the doctor ordered for Kennedy. Now, can they capitalize on it? 1:39 to go in the first half. They're on the 33-yard line of Park Center.
And just like we said a moment ago, John, or Jay, the Eagles do not have to, they don't have to rush. They've got some time.
Hand off on the sweep. And they decided Eisenberg, we're going to have a flag at the end of this one, a late hit, maybe head contact to the head, it looks like is the signal.
Yep.
I'm going to say they decided Eisenberg wasn't tired from that kickoff as they hand him the ball on the first play. Park Center is going to be penalized, and here was what you were talking about earlier, being very cognizant of trying to protect head injuries.
Yep.
And I think that's exactly what we're seeing right there. It wasn't a late hit, it was a hit up to the head.
And I don't know if it was, and I think it was Hooker. Yep, and he got head-to-head. And that's the ultimate no-no in tackling. You have to have your head below the shoulders of the running back or the receiver. And that's a big penalty. And that's one of those things where the player has to understand where his body is as he's making contact. And that's tough, but that's a real strong point of emphasis now is the head-to-head contact.
So from the Pirates 18 now, 1st and 10 for Kennedy as they try and answer that Park Center touchdown and get on the board before the half. Hand off up the middle to Simmons in a big hole. Simmons breaks the tackle. He's in for the touchdown. Kennedy answers quickly here. We talked about Park Center wasn't going to leave him much time, but when you have a great kickoff return, you don't necessarily need that much time.
Yeah, great kickoff return and a 15-yard penalty gets you a pretty good distance down the field, and Max Simmons does a nice job of breaking 2 or 3 tackles, getting into the end zone for Kennedy's first touchdown of the year. And that's got to make Simmons feel a little bit better about that personal foul that he had on the sideline.
And have a timeout taken here by Kennedy before they snap it. It looks like they're planning to kick the extra point. Jolosinski is on. You see another look. Definitely a great hole early, but watch the toughness here right here. Just running through that tackle.
Yep. That was well done by the Kennedy offense. They've shown that they had the ability to do that. They just hadn't executed it. And that's going to be a big boost for them as they get ready for halftime. Say, hey, we were down by 3, now we're down by 2, and we punched it in with a pretty good effort there.
Jolosinski will attempt the extra point here as now they scored so quickly that Park Center might be thinking about, hey, we can get something going back the other way.
They've got 2 guys that can return the ball pretty well themselves.
Good snap, kick is up, and it is good. So 21-7 now for Park Center here, and Kennedy will have to kick off. Wind at his back, though, and as Bill said, though, a couple of pretty good, dangerous guys that Park Center can put back there to return it.
sure we'll see Burge and Hooker back there as the deep guys. And if Jelesinski gets the ball deep,
Weather holding out, at least so far here this evening. We're expecting, earlier the last couple days, they've been saying rain was quite likely. We've had a little bit, I think, but for the most part, not too bad here this evening.
Not rained earlier today, late morning, early afternoon, but since we've been here, just a slight drizzle right before the start of the game as the teams were warming up, and since the game started, it's been pretty comfortable.
Burge is a deep back in the middle. Taylor and Hooker are a little bit shorter in case they try and pooch kick it here. It is going to go to Burge, ranging far to his left at the 4. Cuts past 1. Burge nearly squirted through there. It'll be brought down at the 30. Pretty good sure tackle there, or that one had a chance to go for more. You see, nice move on the first guy here, and then he sees the hole right here, and he tries to squeeze through, but just wrapped up in solid sure tackle made there by Oliver Flores for Kennedy. Tackling is really a lost art, Bill. I mean, we've seen in so many games lately, it just people are so eager to make the big hit a lot of times that they forget to really solidly wrap up and tackle.
That's the key, Jay, is that you have to wrap up. You have to learn how to put your body in a position to make a clean, strong, legal hit, and as you said, wrap that thing up.
Ogunti's throw, and that one hung up there quite a while. He was trying to go to Caleb Sink. It was well short of him, again into that wind.
Yep.
And that was the kind that scare you a little bit because it's, I don't want to say up for grabs, but it was in the air for a while.
Yep. He's got to, going into the wind, he's got to get his hips into the ball a little bit more. And by that I mean he's got to really plant his left foot. He's just throwing that, and he's got to zing that ball out there. He's got to plant his left foot and get up over the top of that a little bit more.
Rush coming. Ogunti hit as he throws and incomplete, trying to go to Brooks. The rush got there just as he was letting that one go, and Lawrence kind of paid the price a little bit here. The referee took a good long look, though. It was clean. They got to him just as he was releasing. Brooks obviously took his eye off that one and wished he had it to do over again.
Yeah, he wanted to make the run after catching the ball. But you got to catch the ball, then make the run.
So 3rd down and 10 here in Park Center. You don't want to give the ball back quickly here either. That's the other thing. Now Ogunti's going to throw over the middle. Hooker, nice catch. He's got it. Hooker gets a great block. And down the sideline he goes and just forced out of bounds around the 25-yard line.
26-yard line. First and 10 Pirates.
Out a 45-yard pickup here, depending on the exact spot. Looks like for Hooker. Nice hands catch out in front of him, too.
And well thrown by Ogunti, a little bit high, but Hooker makes a nice, as you said, hands grab. And we've seen that he's got the wheels to make things happen.
Well, and the nice thing, too, about both he and Burge is obviously great speed, but also strong enough to break tackles.
Yeah, they complement each other quite well.
There's Barry taking the handoff, and he will pick up a short gain, maybe a couple on the play. Park Center's going to have to be concerned with time here, though, under 40 seconds to go.
They've been running no huddle the whole time, but you don't want to be just letting time run off here. You want to get this score back as quickly as you can.
Ogunti gets pretty good protection, throwing it up for Hooker and incomplete. Runs out of room in that corner of the end zone there. And I think this one, it wasn't exactly where Hooker was looking for it, but I think Ogunti recognized that the defender was in a spot. You see, it actually was pretty good coverage. He realized that if he threw it where Hooker initially wanted it, that it would have been kind of up for grabs.
Yeah, and he put it out over Hooker's left shoulder, which was the right place to throw it. Hooker has to make the adjustment on the ball. One of the hardest things for a receiver to learn to do, even an experienced receiver like Hooker, is when you're running a pattern like that, you have to keep your speed up because the quarterback launches the ball assuming you're going to be running at full speed.
Now Gunty throwing for Burge over the middle. He's got it, and is he in the end zone? It's very close. They're going to spot him at about the half-yard line, but time is a big factor. They're going to have to quickly use a timeout. And Burge tried to fight his way. He realized he was close to the goal line, but he didn't quite get there.
He landed right on the ball, I think. The ball right under his chest.
Boy, I'm not so sure he's not in there. Bro.
Yeah, the ball looks like it crossed the plane of the end zone before his knee was completely down. Oh, his left knee was down.
Yeah, you may be right. It was real close.
If we watch his left knee right there. Yeah, boy, that's a bang play. Officials took a good look at it before they determined that he wasn't quite in the end zone. Bird's not particularly pleased with that.
And I think shaken up a little bit too. He got popped pretty good.
Yeah.
He curled his body up because he knew that the safety was coming. And he absorbed the hit pretty well, but looks like.
Yeah, I think he kind of landed on the ball too with the ball right up under his chest.
Well, there's only 8 seconds to go.
You got time for basically one play. And if you run from the spread offense, a quarterback sneak isn't going to be real effective. And so you have to come up with a play that everybody in the stadium isn't expecting you to come up with. You line up with the quarterback underneath the center, thinking that it's going to be a quarterback sneak. From the spread offense, your running plays are limited. So, we're going to go spread.
See if they'll try and punch it in with Barry here. Ogunti is going to hand off. Rondé Barry fights and looks like he will be in for the touchdown. Touchdown Park Center as they go up the gut, and Barry able to push it over the goal line and in, and a huge touchdown late. The ball comes loose at the end too, but they rule that he's already crossed the goal line at that point.
Boy, 2 touchdowns in the last minute and 18 seconds here, Jay. That's pretty exciting into the first half here.
Monson on to attempt the extra point here for Park Center. And her kick is up, and it is good. So with 4 seconds left in this first half, a very entertaining end of the half, as a couple touchdowns by Park Center and one for Kennedy. And you see Barry
lost the ball
late,
but a Park Center guy covered it. So
yeah, I think they were ruling that it was already a touchdown.
Yeah, he'd already crossed the plane.
I guess unofficially for now, we'll give that touchdown to Barry rather than Snowbrook, who came over and recovered. I think the signal had already been made. So it wasn't, we were talking about Park Center didn't leave Kennedy much time before, but we've had 2 more touchdowns since then, one each way. Unbelievable.
Yeah, 3 touchdowns in 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Well, both these coaches felt like they were going to have exciting offenses, and the last 3 minutes have proven to be the absolute fact.
Sadie will kick off here for Park Center, and they might be thinking, last time we were impressed with the depth they got on the kick, but they maybe don't want to do that again because it allowed some room to run there for Eisenberg.
Yep.
Might want to kick this one on the ground.
Make somebody that doesn't usually handle the ball.
Sadie will drill it low. It is going to get all the way back, though, to Eckerson. He picks it up. Eckerson up the middle, and he is brought down. Nice job of holding his ground and making the stop there for Park Center. And we have reached the halfway point. A very eventful second quarter, and Park Center holding a 28-7 lead here on the Kennedy Eagles. As we said, the season opener for Kennedy and game number 2 for Park Center, which maybe was a help a little bit for the Pirates in that first half. They'd already been out there, and of course, you know, with the switch to district scheduling, the 0 week presumably is going to be not much of a factor anymore.
Right.
And these teams, by the way, too, are going to be in the same district, so we could see them playing on a much more regular basis again, like they did back in the old days when they were both in the Lake Conference.
Yeah,
so that's certainly a possibility that we'll see, you know, more of this matchup again.
And this, I think, is a good matchup for both schools. They've like we've said all afternoon long here, that the schools have similar histories over the last several years. So being able to play each other, I think, is a good thing.
Let's go down now to the field with Ryan Iverson.
Hi, thanks, guys. I'm joined now by Kennedy head coach John Anderson. Coach, I know it's not the start you guys were looking for. 2 quick interceptions, a couple of fumbles, a miffed snap, but you guys got a big score there at the end. How do you get the momentum back to your side?
Hey, we got to focus in on, we're the only ones stopping ourselves. The 2 interceptions we put on the ground twice. You mentioned the bad snap. That's it. When we're doing what we're doing, we're fine. We're stopping ourselves. I'm not trying to take anything Park Center. They're making plays on defense when they need to, and they're obviously making plays on offense. But we just got to control what we control, and we'll be fine.
First game of the year, what do you tell this team in the locker room to get them ready to come out hard?
Hey, we just got to settle down. We settled down. We got a nice punch in there, and we just got to tell them, hey, we got to trust in ourselves, trust in our teammates. This game's far from over. We have the ability to put up a lot of points in the second half.
Super. Well, good luck in the second half. Thanks, Coach, for joining us. That's Coach John Anderson, Bloomington Kennedy Eagles. Back up to you guys.
All right, thanks very much, Ryan. It is 28-7 Park Center here at halftime as the Pirates play their home opener for 2014. We'll be back with more of our halftime here on 12 Sports from Park Center High School.
Michael Adams?
Here.
Michael Adams?
Here.
Michael Adams.
Michael Adams.
Students who miss 18 days of school in any grade risk falling behind and not graduating. Absences add up. Keep track at boostattendance.org today.
Adopting a new pet is a rewarding experience. And Shelter Pets makes super pets. Your new best friend will steal your heart, bring you happiness, and enrich your life for years to come. You can make a difference in the life of an animal. Adopt and bring home a shelter pet today. To find out more, visit theshelterpetproject.org.
If you drive buzzed, it could cost you around $10,000. You'll face major legal fees, major fines, and steep insurance penalties. You could lose everything. Buzzed, busted, and broke, because buzz driving is drunk driving.
And welcome back here to Park Center High School. We're at halftime of the Pirates home opener, leading at 28-7, and there is a new activities director at Park Center, just started this week. In fact, a guy that we've known for a long time basketball coach at Minnetonka High School, and he is standing by now. John Hedstrom with Ryan Iverson.
Yeah, hi, thanks, guys. I'm with a very special guest. He looks very familiar to a lot of our viewers from the epic Hopkins Minnetonka boys basketball days. He is John Hedstrom, the brand new athletic director here at Park Center. How does that title sound to you?
Well, I think the legal technical term is activities coordinator, but it sounds great. I'm very happy to be here. It kind of was a quick whirlwind thing. exiting activities coordinator Rob Carpentier took a different job closer to his home in Farmington, and so the position opened in early August, and so it kind of came up pretty fast. But I'm very happy to be here.
Well, so John Hedstrom is a big name in high school sports. What have you been doing for the past few years, and how did that lead you to this point where we are today?
Well, big name is probably a stretch, but I would say, for me, I left education and kind of explored some interest in the business world. I was working with with the company that Glenn Taylor owns in Mankato, and that's the connection to basketball. I was selling printing products to schools, yearbooks, calendars, posters, so kind of using some of the connections I had made in education that way. But it's a tough thing to get in there and compete against some of the top companies like Life Touch and Jostens, but that's kind of what we did. And we did some inroads there. It was fun. It was a connection through my dad and my brother. My dad was like the second yearbook salesman Jostens ever hired in 1952, and then my brother was in it. And so we were actually competing against those kind of companies. It was fun and exciting. I got to work with students a little bit in the classroom, but this is where my heart and passion was for sure.
We were talking before the game, Coach, that there's a lot of talent around Brooklyn Park in this area. What is going to be your biggest challenges being the athletic director here, and what are some of the big opportunities that you see going forward here?
Well, it's still early. I mean, this is my third day in the position, but
you should have it all figured out by now.
Figured out by now. The main thing is just to create as great a programs as you can, and that starts with exceptional coaches and advisors. And I can already tell we have that. If an opening should occur, it's my job to go out there and find the most exceptional person that we can find for our kids, for our students. That said, we have talented, dedicated students. It's a high academic IB school. So that's what should also be attracting them, is the academic programs along with the student activities. As I kind of said in the interview, what I want to do is when the school day ends at 2:10 is have every student be able to go somewhere where there's a passion that they have, and that's what you want to do. You grew up in high school athletics, so did I. You have to go somewhere where your passion is, and that's what makes it really fun and exciting to be around.
Super. On a side note, your daughter Joanna Hedstrom is at the Gophers. Big coaching change. How's she doing? What's the new coach like?
Well, the coaching change it's first stressful because Pam Borton had recruited her. She was a freshman last year. She's a sophomore this year, and Coach Stallings has come in and interjected a lot of her up-tempo basketball offensive concepts from VCU. The girls have been working very hard to get in shape. They're going to play an up-tempo, fast brand of basketball. Joanna has been a point guard. I think she's going to move to a forward or something, and we'll see how it goes. But I don't think she'll do very well guarding the post down low. But I think she, might be able to stretch the defenses some. But she really enjoys it so far. It's going well, and she's in the Carlson School of Management and doing very well there as well.
Super. Well, here's one thing: no other athletic director in the state of Minnesota can ever say that their football team has never trailed during their tenure.
That's right.
But you can say that right now. What do you think of this football team?
You know what? They work very hard. I've watched them practice. The coaches are very dedicated. They put in the time. They want to be good, and that's the first thing. They also, I think, they believe they're going to be good. And I think when you saw the article in the Star Tribune last week, after they won against Richfield and came back and won, they said it's a new Park Center and there's a new attitude, a new view. And that's what really can feed on itself. If we can get a win tonight, we have Blake coming in next week, that's very helpful. And it really does feed into the other sports. Our soccer teams are doing well. Volleyball hasn't had any games yet. But, yeah, I guess we are 2-0 if we win tonight.
Well, super. Well, it's great to see you back in education and athletics. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Ryan.
That's John Hedstrom, new activities coordinator, athletic director, whatever you want to call it here at Park Center. Back up to you guys, Jay.
Thanks very much, Ryan, and thanks and welcome to John Hedstrom. We will come back with more football here to take a look at our first half highlights and more here. Park Center leading Kennedy 28-7 on 12 Sports.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
Wow, These are really good.
You act surprised. Practice makes perfect.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
Late August in our season opener here on 12 Sports. Park Center leading Kennedy 28-7 as we check out some first half highlights from tonight's contest here. And starting off, turnovers hurting Kennedy early on here as this pass picked off. Brooks with a diving interception. Then another one here that is tipped up high in the air and picked off by Johnson for Park Center. Those came on the first 2 drives of the game, in fact. And then it is one the other way as a tip pass intercepted by Peyton Morales there for Kennedy. And as the teams traded turnovers early. And it's Ogunti going up the seam here. Adam Burge hauls it in for the touchdown. That was late in the first quarter. It was 7-0 PC after 1 on a 29-yard strike. Second quarter now. Here's the pass. Hooker the catch, fights through a tackle or 2 there and gets his way in for a 19-yard score. That was early in the second. 14-0 Pirates. And Ogunti throwing, and it is Brooks making the catch for the touchdown. That was just under 2 minutes to go, but it was still 2 more TDs after that. Started with this one, a great kick return of 65 yards by DePriest Eisenberg for Kennedy. That was on the kickoff right after that Brooks touchdown. And that set the Eagles up into good position here, and they get a touchdown from Simmons on an 18-yard run, and they scored very quickly. But Park Center came back with one more opportunity, and Hooker, a great catch over the middle, got a block, and up the sideline he goes, and that is able to set them up. Well, first of all, another completion here to Bird just inside the 1. His knee hits, and then Barry with just seconds left fights in. The ball came loose, but after he was ruled to have crossed the goal line, and with 4 seconds left, they get the touchdown. As we get a look at our first half stats, Park Center kind of dominating on the stat board here, and throwing it 176 yards through the air. And the penalties have been a little bit of a problem for both teams, but the turnovers early certainly a big thing for Kennedy. We will come back with our second half of football here. Park Center trying to go to 2-0. Kennedy hoping they see reason to think a rally could be possible. 28-7 Pirates as we get set for our half number 2.
Don't look at me. Your hair's a bit frizzy today. Oh, you should pick that up. Oh, you're such a dork. Loser. Here, let me help you with that. Oops.
Every day, kids witness bullying.
Oh, look. Your crush is looking at you. Poor you.
They want to help, but don't know how.
See, no one here's gonna help you, because no one
Teach your kids how to be more than a bystander. Visit stopbullying.gov.
EC football off to a good start tonight and this season, and as Mr. Hedstrom said, some of the other fall sports look like they're going to do decent as well this year, including the girls soccer team, and we had a chance to catch up with their girls team for a season preview of the Pirates.
But we also have it off.
We have a big senior class. I think we have 11 seniors on our roster, so that's going to be a great year for us.
The Pirates have a good mix of returners like goalkeeper Emily Nelson, forward Jill Rosby, the Du Bois sisters McKenna and Megan, plus newcomers like Molly Monson. It makes for a good blend of talents.
Yeah, we have a lot of talent returning, and we have a couple new players that are starting on our squad, and they should raise our skill level a lot. So.
The Pirates were just over the 500 mark overall last season and went 3-6-1 in the rugged Northwest Suburban Conference before losing a tough one to Totino Grace in the Section 5A title game. They want to become the first Pirates girls soccer team to reach the state tournament and also compete well against conference powers.
Our conference is definitely tough. We have teams like Centennial, Maple Grove, who are always really strong. But I think that we're going to come up and surprise people, and most people don't see Park Center as a threat, but we'll definitely shock some people out there this season.
I think they've put a lot of pressure on themselves with, trying to get that last win to get into the state tournament. We've lost in shootouts or we've lost in the finals.
It'll take hard work, but this could be a team that breaks new ground for Pirates girls soccer. And it's been a great start for that girls soccer team, too. They won again today to move to 4-0 on the season. The boys also winning their soccer game over at Irondale High School. So congratulations to those teams getting off to solid starts as well. So 28-7 lead here for the Pirates football team here as they are off to a solid start, as we said, not only tonight, but season long as well. Teams getting set for the third quarter coming up here, and still opportunity, as we said, especially with the way we saw a lot of points late in that first half. I mean, I think there's still some hope for Kennedy, definitely, that they have an opportunity to get back. And Ryan Iverson now standing by with one of the Pirates' assistant coaches.
Hi, thanks, Jay. I'm here with Coach Crutch, assistant coach, Park Center. What a fantastic start. You get the 2 early interceptions, big plays in the passing game. They come down and score with 1.5 minutes left. I'm thinking the momentum's changed. Not so fast. You guys go the length of the field, big touchdown right before the end of the half.
Yeah, that's just something we've changed here at Park Center. The culture that we changed here about not getting your head down when that play doesn't go your way. And the guys are all receptive to it, man. I mean, they scored and we came right back and put up a good defensive stand, not let it happen again. And like you said earlier, what better start to get off to with those 2 interceptions? And then, like we said before, you told me you're going to interview me, man. We just got to keep doing what we're doing, man. As a defensive coordinator, you're just a little mad that the goose egg's gone. But, I just told the guys, hey, that's okay. We just keep playing how we're playing. Nothing changes, and, we'll walk out of here with a win.
2 wins last year. You're going for your second win. Kids maybe aren't used to being up 21 at halftime. What did you tell them to make sure they come out strong here to start the second half?
Well, we reminded them of last week. We were up 19-6, and we had 2 turnovers and let Richfield get back in the game. And we told them we're not letting that happen again. I mean, we get the ball at half. We told them we got to go score. That pumps up the defense, and we're not letting them back in. Again, that's just part of the change we're bringing here at Park Center.
Super. Well, congrats on the first half. Good luck in the second half, Coach. Thanks for joining us. There you go, Coach Crutch, assistant coach for Park Center Pirates. Back up to you, Jay.
Thanks very much, Ryan, and thanks to Coach Crutch for joining us as well. Coach Strong letting us know beforehand that he likes us, but he's not wanting to do tons of interviews, and he was gracious enough to in the preseason to talk with us, but he's more about coaching the kids, and Coach Crutch is obviously a great spokesperson, and he did a great job with the girls basketball program that wound up winning a state title last season as well. And it's hard to quantify, but I gotta believe seeing things like that helps the confidence in other sports a little bit too.
Absolutely. As you said, it's nice to hear that both soccer teams won and are on the season undefeated, I believe. So nice start to the fall. School hadn't even started, and several of the teams have done pretty well here at Park Center.
Kind of a fun look back earlier today. I was going through some stuff, and I knew that that Kennedy and Park Center had both been in the Lake Conference together, but obviously been a while. Looking at 1991, and it was a rough year for the Pirates, but they beat Kennedy in the 7th game, and then they came back and beat Osseo in the last game of the regular season.
Right.
Like, what better do you want to do than follow it up with a win over Osseo? So they These teams at one time met pretty regularly, and as we talked about, district football coming in next year, and they are in the same pool of about 16, so they could be playing again on a pretty regular basis. Jelesinski kicking off. He goes short and high with this one. Hooker will field it on the 23. Hooker gets through a gap. Look at him go. Amani Hooker has a chance to go the distance. Hooker trying to accelerate away. There's a flag down, and it will be a touchdown, but it will be called back, and Park Center, Hooker not happy with that one as they will get the penalty call here. It's going to be an illegal block in the back against Park Center to take away what would have been a return touchdown.
And this illegal block occurred way behind the runner. And again, it's a matter of discipline. Watch number 10 come up here. And just out of the picture, he was shoved in the back after Amani Hooker went by. And you just have to be disciplined enough that when the runner is ahead of you, don't do that. That's going to cost you every time.
Yeah, and you see Hooker saying, why? It was not necessary. I was already gone.
Yeah, that's the point exactly. Amani Hooker is exactly right. Why? You don't have to make the contact. It wasn't even very good contact. You just push the guy down. And that's a learning thing as well. That's got to be a teaching thing for the coaching staff to say, look, fellas, twice we've had big runs that have been negated by late blocks.
Toss goes to Burge, and he is wrapped up and brought down after a very minimal gain there, as pretty well strung out there by the Eagles. Seeing a little bit of this wishbone look in the first half from Park Center, running out of the spread, and then you jump into the wishbone. It doesn't get much different than that. It's actually a short loss on the play for Burge.
Right.
There have been a lot of bodies out there every time he's gotten the ball on those handoffs. Not much happening.
They've been all over that, have the Eagles, that when Burge touches the ball and he's running, you get out there fast and keep him bottled up, and that's exactly what they've done every time they've run that sweep to the left side.
Flag flies before the snap here. Got an offside call against Park Center. They must have lined up.
Somebody stepped into the neutral zone and stepped back.
So the Pirates hurting themselves with penalties here. It looked like they were going to have a kick return touchdown, but even after that, you say, well, okay, we're on their 30. We're still in good shape here, but got to take care of business.
Now we're in 2nd and 15.
Gunty takes the snap. Now throwing, and it is complete. It looked like it got through the hands of the linebacker Brown, and Brooks able to make the catch. We may have another flag down, it looks like, though.
Yeah, there's a flag right here on this sideline, thrown by the line judge, and probably for another procedure penalty against Park Center.
Yeah, legal procedure call against the Pirates. I thought for a moment Brown was going to pick this one off.
Yeah.
It looked like he just kind of overran it or went through his tip of his fingers, but nice concentration by Brooks, but it's not going to count.
This is what what we're talking about here, Jay. You have one silly penalty, and now we got two penalties that are caused by just a lack of attention, which is what a procedure penalty is.
Gunty looking to throw, completing it to Hooker, and Hooker splits between defenders. Hooker is going to go for the touchdown. Never mind all the penalties. We'll take it, says Park Center. That'll be a 41-yard strike for PC, and Hooker showing a great ability to run away from defenders right there.
Well, that was another one that was a well-executed play with Hooker clearing underneath, or coming in underneath after Adam Burge had cleared, and using his speed and agility after catching the ball to run away from people.
Hooker over 100 yards receiving now on 3 catches, a couple of them for TDs. Munson on to attempt the extra point, and this one sneaks its way through there. It was not a great snap, but they are able to get it down well enough, and Munson boots it through, and it's 35-7 Park Center.
So you can see that the zone was cleared for Amani Hooker, and he came in underneath, made a nice grab on a good throw by Ogunti, right on the spot. And once he gets running upfield, very hard to corral him.
So Park Center continues to function well offensively, even despite the penalties there. So Hooker, the bad news is you lose a kick return for a touchdown. The good news is, man, you come back and get a reception for a touchdown.
Fourth touchdown pass. And not only that, you've scored twice in about the last 2.5 minutes. So that's a big thing. That's a huge thing. You go from, giving up a 21-0 lead to make it 21-7, and then in the space of two minutes on the clock, you're ahead 35-7. That's a big psychological hurdle for Kennedy to try to overcome.
Sadie will kick off here for Park Center, and he gets a lot of leg into this one. It's about 4 yards deep into the end zone. It will be a touchback, and with the wind at his back, I told you, I've seen this guy take free kicks on the soccer field that go a long way.
Yep.
And so Kennedy will start at the 20-yard line, trailing at 35-7. Got a lot of work ahead of them. However, it is still obviously plenty of time in this ball game, and as their coach Anderson said, that we've moved the ball well. We've just had some mistakes, and Park Center's made some plays, but they're going to need to be efficient now at this point, down by this much.
Right, and their defense is going to have to tighten things down on the receiving group from Park Center.
Eisenberg taking the direct snap here, and Eisenberg works his way free out over the 30, and he'll pick up a first down, a gain of 11 or 12 on that carry as he is in there taking that direct snap. And it kind of looks like he's going to stay in there as the quarterback.
A little change of pace from what Kennedy started with. Put Eisenberg back there in the Wildcat thing and let him run a little bit. Good change of pace, 10 or 11 yard gain right out of the gate here. You need to do things that are going to give you confidence.
Eisenberg's going to take off and run again here, bounces it to the outside, and he is spun down as he crosses the 35. Give him about 3, maybe 4 on the carry. Don't really think there was any injury thing. Well, now fine is right back there.
Yeah, he's been out there the whole time. They've just been running him as the 5th receiver and letting Eisenberg handle the ball in the backfield.
Much like Park Center, we've seen Hooker take, maybe 5-6 snaps in this game too.
Now we're back to their spread set.
2nd and 6, Fine keeping it after the fake to win, and he is driven down. Nice form tackle there, getting there and stopping him as Isaac Mansfield for Park Center.
And Kennedy did a good job of running the ball to their fullback, Chance Wynn, earlier in the game, and this time Fine faked and kept the ball, faked it to Wynn and kept it. Got a pretty good gain.
We talked earlier about tackling being a problem, boy, with Mansfield. That's exactly how you do it in practice. Okay, here's what we do. You have a running back. That was a great form tackle there. So 3rd down for the Eagles. Eisenberg taking the snap, has some room. Works his way up the middle. That's going to be a penalty, a face mask on the play, I believe. as his head got turned to the side. He's all the way out to the 50. He'll have the first down and then get the face mask call.
Yeah, it's going to be tacked on at the end of the run, even though it occurred during the run back a ways from where the play ended.
You see rattles off a dozen. He's an elusive guy in there.
Yes, he is.
Not, as you said earlier, not that
you
big.
You can see right there the grab of the face mask. That's going to be an extra 15 tacked onto that one.
Looks like they must have given it a 5.
Oh. The guy got a. Usually the 5 is almost an incidental contact, but that one was a pretty good grab there. Fine has come off the field. He's got something going with his hand or lower arm, probably a cut that's bleeding and needs to be dealt with right away.
Handoff going to Simmons as he's popped, but he'll pick up 5 or more. Taking snap that time, Charles Cameron, a sophomore quarterback for the Eagles. Simmons leaving with a 2nd down and 5 to go here. 7:40 to play, 3rd quarter, along with Bill Hunstock and Ryan Iverson. I'm Jay Wilcox. Hope you enjoyed tonight's action so far. Good one for the home team. Park Center 35-7 over Kennedy so far, but the Eagles driving. Simmons takes a handoff again. Struggling forward, and he might have enough for the first down, or he'll be close anyway.
Yes.
Looks like just short.
Yeah, the spot is just short of the line, so it's be 3rd and less than 1. Kennedy's put together a pretty nice drive here, and they've done it virtually all on the ground. So they're getting a little bit better running game. And they thought they were going to be throwing the ball pretty much all over the yard. That's what Coach Anderson said with those receivers they have. But they need to settle into something that's going to be a little bit more consistent. The running game has been good to them, particularly on this possession.
And you get the feeling while they're working on Fine that Cameron might be in there mainly to hand off. And that's what they go with again. And not going to get there. Fofana able to wrap up Simmons, and good strength to keep him from getting any further. And I don't know that he gained anything on that play. Maybe a short loss. Yeah, right back to the line, basically.
Right. But another good form tackle by the linebacker. Fofana stepping up, getting his chest on the running back, wrapping up and driving him parallel to the line of scrimmage to not allow the first down. Makes it 4th and less than 1.
Certainly with this score and where they are on the field, no doubt they'll go for it. Cameron throwing, and the pass complete to Eckerson. And he is knocked down inside the 30, so they will get the first down. And for Eckerson, just his 2nd catch of the night.
A nice throw by Cameron. Sophomore quarterback, not a big guy. 5'8", 136 pounds.
Eisenberg now in quarterback slot. And he will take off. Lots of green and gold there, though, and Howard able to bring him down, and there was more heat coming as well as Joshua Lay was about to lower the boom. Howard bringing him down. You could tell right away that one didn't have much of an opportunity to go anywhere.
No, that was pretty well played right out of the gate by Howard, of containing the block and not giving Eisenberg any place to run. Now Cameron back in at the quarterback slot.
Hands it off to Simmons. He's in trouble and run down by Fofana. Nice tackle there. And they'll get nothing out of that one.
Boy, ever since that 3rd down stop, Park Center's done a really nice job. Their linebackers are stepping up. Their defensive front four winning the battle across the front. As we see that Matt Fine is back in the game.
3rd and long here for Kennedy. I think you're right. He had to get his hand or arm wrapped up a little bit. Here he goes, rolling to the right. Fires. It's complete. Van Sloan takes the catch, but he'll be short of the first down.
Nice throw and catch. Fine to Van Sloan, but still short of the line to gain, so it's going to be 4th and about 3. I thought it was a little closer than that at the play. But
Well, and here's the thing, too, for Park Center. Even though Kennedy's driving the ball, look how much time's been taken off the clock. When you got a 35-7 lead, I mean, you'd like to get a 3 and out, but they're at least making them really work for things here, too.
Yeah, you can't afford 6-7 minute drives when you're down by 4 scores.
Fine. Pass complete. Immediate tackle by Brooks as he goes low on the big guy, Bryant, but it'll be enough for the first down.
Again, nice throw and catch. Big receiver. All he has to do is just get up and get his body in the way and make the grab, and it's going to be a first down. I keep wanting to say Joshua Bryant. I keep wanting to say Des Bryant. Big 6'5" receiver wearing 88 like that with the last name Bryant.
Just inside the 15-yard line now. 1st and 10 for Kennedy. Go back to the ground. Simmons, and Josh Willey wraps him up and throws him to the turf. Josh, 5'10", 248 and a junior, and watch him bear hug him here and throw him down.
Well played. The Park Center defense is doing a very nice job on the front 5, front 6 of controlling the line of scrimmage. After those first 3 or 4 runs, they settled down and have really started to control the line of scrimmage much better.
2nd and about 11 now after that loss by Simmons. Fine, looking to his left, now under pressure. Howard's coming at him, and he throws it out of play. And that will be an incompletion. There was a receiver, Eckerson, in the vicinity, although he was clearly throwing it out.
Right. The ball did not cross the line of scrimmage. I'm not sure how the rule for grounding reads in high school now, but that would have been very close to be just being thrown away.
So 3rd and 11 coming up here for Kennedy. 2:06 to play here in the 3rd quarter. Park Center up by 35-7. And they've got presumably a winnable game next week. You got Blake.
Right.
Too, so Pirates could be looking at a pretty good start here. They got to nail this one down first, though. Kennedy still clinging to hope here. Fine, under pressure, and he is sacked. Getting there in a hurry is Taylor Comstock on the blitz and drops him for a big loss.
Boy, real big play by Comstock to get the sack and force a 4th and quite long. 4th and about 20. So when you really need to, for Park Center now, it's very imperative that they have good pressure across the line of scrimmage and make sure you've got all 4 receivers covered.
Kind of a must-make almost for Kennedy here with this score, and not an easy one to get. 4th down and about 20. Fine, looking for a screen, gets it off to Simmons, getting a block to the outside. Simmons shakes a tackler, reaches the ball out. Let's see, where did he go out of bounds? He's going to be short. Got down to about the 7-yard line, needed to get to the 4. He was tight-roping and trying his best to reach that ball forward, but just they got enough of him to knock him out of bounds.
Boy, and this is a well-executed screen. And Simmons just goes out of bounds before he can reach the line to gain. So a nice effort on the screen on 4th down for Kennedy's Eagles, but they turn the ball over on downs, but deep in the Park Center zone inside the 10-yard line with 1:06 to go in the third quarter.
So on about the 7-yard line, here's where ball security is big for Park Center here. Ogunti going to throw it out of the end zone. Fires, complete to Hooker. And he nearly broke a tackle. I'm sorry, not Hooker on that catch. It's Malik Spencer, number 10. He'll gain about 9. Park Center showing no fear there, willing to throw the ball even though pinned deep. Second and a yard. Ogunti going to throw it up deep for Burge. It's a little underthrown and just tipped away. He came back to meet it, but Badwa got his hand in there.
When Adam Burge tried to use his body to bump Badwa off the ball, but couldn't quite do it. That would have been a nice big play. That offensive group from Park Center showing no fear deep in their own zone, as you said, Jay, that not afraid to throw the ball deep.
Now we'll see if they go back to the ground, maybe try and pick it up on 3rd and 1 here. And it is indeed Barry, and he is indeed going to pick up that first down as he spun down.
He got pretty well smacked right at the line of scrimmage, but is able to spin out of the tackle and make the yard that he needed +1. Always like to have a guy that says, Coach, when you need a yard, I'll get you one. When you need 2 yards, I'll get you one.
So big first down there for Park Center. You get a little more breathing room, even if you end up having to ultimately punt. You're also going to be able to take the ball into the 4th quarter here, it looks like. Well, 22 seconds to go.
And I think that, again, enough of that first down play, the quick pass to Hooker, just enough of a change from the expected.
To Spencer, actually.
Excuse me,
I
Spencer.
initially called Hooker, so bad call there. Here's Barry taking the handoff, and that one strung out pretty well. He stays in bounds, though, and that's a pretty good play or fortunate thing for Park Center. That's going to bring us to the end of the 3rd quarter. Pirates in command here. Our score after 3 here from Brooklyn Park. Park Center 35, Bloomington Kennedy 7. The 4th quarter is up next here on 12 Sports.
You watch Channel 12 at home. Why not on the go? Channel 12 is online at 12.tv. Watch on your phone, on your tablet. Channel 12 is your local source wherever you go. Just log on to 12.tv. Check out our videos, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, and even watch live events via live stream. So don't wait. Stay up to date with Channel 12 and 12.tv, your local source.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. You know, but it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, you know, she's putting them in the same basket. Again. It's like, hello, that's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
Good ball game here for Park Center in their home opener for 2014. They won on the road against Richfield in the Week 1 0-week opener here. And hard to quantify, Bill, but have to believe that is a little bit of a help tonight to have played that game. We talked about in the pregame, and I think it's definitely showing up a little bit.
Yeah, the first 2 weeks of the season, if one team has played a game and the other hasn't, I would always rather be the guy that played a game than not.
So as we change ends here for quarter number 4, a 2nd down and 10 for Park Center, and it slips through Ogunti's hands, but nice elusiveness, gets to the outside, throwing for Bird, and he has got it. He was covered like a blanket, but he just out-muscled the defender and comes down with it.
There's a flag over on the sideline where Ogunti let the ball go. Probably a late hit out of bounds on Ogunti, and an absolutely sterling grab by Adam Burge. And well played. The defender, Oliver Flores, played that perfectly. He didn't interfere with the receiver. He didn't get his hands on him. Was right there where they made the tackle as he made the catch. But he made the catch. That's just one of those things. There's no defense for the perfectly thrown ball.
And you got to give Gunte a lot of credit for not panicking either. Once the ball was lost, he just moved to his right, but still kept looking downfield.
Yeah.
Gives you confidence, too, when you're throwing to a guy that you know is probably not going to, give up in a pick there. He's going to fight for the ball for you.
Yeah.
He's able to shield the defender off, and they go all the way out to the 49 with the penalty tacked on. Heavy rush coming here. Gets it away though to Barry. Barry, a nice cut into the secondary. Barry shakes a tackle. Barry bouncing to the outside, and he might go. Rondé Barry for the touchdown. A 51-yard screen pass for Park Center.
That was a very well executed screen pass. Well done on first down. Rondé Barry makes a couple of nice moves. I did not know a Fireplug could run that fast. But he got a couple of really good downfield blocks, and by really good, not devastating blocks, but just very timely and quite legal, which is a big plus tonight. Molly Monson will be looking for.
And the extra point is up, and it is good. And Monson 6 for 6. Kicking him through, and Barry, great run with some great blocks. Boy, you see the rush coming. Ogunti knew, I got to get rid of this now. There was initial great block, but then, as Bill said, downfield a little bit.
This tackle there, but there's a block right there on number 85 that really sprung Rondé Barry free.
So his second touchdown of the night. Hooker has a couple of touchdowns. Ogunti has thrown now 5 touchdown passes after nearly 4 in the first week.
Right.
So great start that he is off to as well.
Yeah, and that's going to put that's going to make the Park Center passing game recognizable to everybody else on their schedule now. Now the problem for Kennedy is they're just not going to have enough possessions. They're going to have to score very fast and do some things. And the trouble when you try to score fast is that things get accelerated, mistakes become larger, and the defense now doesn't have to worry about quite as many things. You're probably not going to run the ball consistently at this point in the game. So
Sadie's kick. Eisenberg comes up to take it on the 15. Remember, he had that great kick return late in the first half. Very shifty, and he gets to the outside, and he is brought down just shy of midfield. Good hustle to run him down over there. On the stop for PC, there was J. Allen Necklin. So it'll be on the 47-yard line of Kennedy, but they have a huge deficit to try and overcome here, 42-7. We started to talk about earlier, they're in the new Metro West Conference this season, and got Cooper St. Louis Park, their crosstown rival Jefferson, Chaska, Chanhassen. Fine throwing to Eisenberg, he's got it, and then brought down short of the first down. Give him 6-yard pickup.
Nice quick pass from Fine to Eisenberg. Eisenberg's proven to be very dangerous. I'm sure that Fine would like to spread the ball around and see Nathan Eckerson get his hands on the ball too.
And airmails that one up high for Bryant. Remember, he got hurt on one like that earlier, and this time he was a little quick to pull that arm down. I'm not saying he shouldn't have been, because the ball was uncatchable anyway. But
yeah, and you know, the second shot in the ribs usually doesn't feel anywhere near as good as the first one.
So a 3rd down coming up here for the Eagles. Got a running time situation here with the margin that we're at. So even with the incompletion, the clock ticking. And there's another one for Bryant that sails up high and over his head. So it'll be 4th down. More than likely, obviously, Kennedy will go for it here.
I think at this point in the game, you really don't have to. It's not a huge thought process, but you know, it's a long way to go on 4th down, but
actually they are bringing the punter.
Yeah, they are now, but I think initially there was a thought that they should probably try for it, but 4th and 5 is a struggle.
Walensky coming on, has the wind at his back. Brooks is going to let it go, and it will just skip into the end zone. Great effort there to try and run it down, but they can't do so. Kennedy will be taking on another team from our area this coming Friday, the 5th of September, as they host Cooper. It's actually the first of 3 in a row at home for Kennedy at Bloomington Stadium, so they'll try and bounce back. A chance to visit Cooper this last week, and they they kind of came into the season with a lot of question marks. They got a lot back, but they were just real happy with the scrimmages they had. And Willie Howard said it's the best 2-a-days that they've had since he's been over there. Their numbers are quite thin, but definitely have some abilities. So that'll be an interesting matchup. They had a pretty decent season last year at 5-4. So here we go, 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. See if Park Center will go to the ground and try and eat some clock here a little bit. 1st down, that's exactly what happens, is they pick up minimal gain, and handling the football this time is Malcolm Richards. So a short gainer of about 2.
Richards is replaced at the running back spot by Malik Taylor, number 42.
Taylor's going to get the handoff right here and trying to get away, and he does. Keeps on moving. Pretty good sized young guy. They were giving us his name and number, a late addition to the roster, and he was an impressive looking ball player there standing next to him, and able to fight forward for about 4 on that play.
Actually a pretty nice run. He did a lot of running to get not very many yards. But the clock continues to run.
High snap again, Ogunti handing it off. Richards made the first man miss, makes another guy miss. Richards keeps going, and he might just have enough for the 1st down. Nope, going to be a little short.
Just short.
About a yard short, it looks like. But Kennedy's got to think, what do we got to do to get these guys on the ground here?
Yeah, with 2-3 missed tackles and out of bounds just ahead of the line to gain.
Well, it's only a yard to go, but they're in their own territory. Park Center not bringing the punter out, at least right now.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll try and draw him off. No, they're going to run a play. Richards, look like he almost bobbled it, and he's not going to get the 1st down. Well, that one might go down as a little bit of a head scratcher there for Park Center.
I would say so. I would think if I'm going to give up the ball, I'd rather give it up on a punt.
I suppose you might be thinking one thing is you don't want to have a really bad play on a punt in terms of a block punt or a bad snap too. You might really give up a big play, but I guess if you make it there, it looks good. But when you don't, you wonder a little.
Yeah.
So Kennedy will get the football back.
It's
here.
different with a 5-touchdown lead
compared
to a 1.
You can get away with that a lot easier than in that spot, can't you? Football on the Pirates' 29-yard line here, but the clock continues to tick, and that's because of our big margin here, 35 points right now. We're just about to the halfway point. Now Kennedy's going to use a timeout, however, so the clock won't continue to tick at the moment. And as Coach Anderson, you see, he's still got a sense of humor out there, talking with Charles Cameron, who came in when Fine was nicked up a little bit. So he's had some snaps here tonight. Has thrown one completion, and we talked about Kennedy scheduled next, and Blake coming here to Park Center, a 5 o'clock game this coming Friday the 5th. Then we set a bye the next week, and then the Pirates will travel to Elk River, a team that hadn't had great seasons of late either, but they took it to Park Center pretty good last year. So I know that's one that they will kind of like to remember a little bit. You don't typically coach revenge, but you bring up that score a little bit.
Yeah, you like to remind the guys. Remember last year they humiliated us. It looks like we've got a mix of first and second line guys for Park Center.
And same for Kennedy. Handoff here, and a quick stop made there as the Pirates get there in a hurry. Carrying it for the Eagles that time is Andre Lowe, and he'll be stopped short of the line of scrimmage. So second down and a dozen coming up here, and we were kind of eager to see Park Center, after that first game win against Richfield, and boy, they've done a lot of nice things tonight.
They've really put together some things that they've needed to over the last few years. They look like they've matured a little bit, and they're playing well within themselves. They've made enough mistakes to lose a game, no doubt about that. But they've been very resilient. They've covered their mistakes, and that is a sign of maturity in a team that's growing and playing with some confidence that, well, I don't care. We had a penalty that was a dumb penalty to get, but we bounced back and we scored a touchdown 2 plays later. That's the kind of thing that the team needs, because they're going to play against some teams that are going to force them into making mistakes and not be quite so forgiving.
Big loss for Kennedy after the ball was bobbled by Juan Bowers, and then he was brought down for a loss by Nacklin way back at the 39-yard line. So they've got nearly 20 yards to go for the first year on third down. On the run, pass is complete. And short of the first down, but still a nice gainer there as they hit Joseph Tim.
That was a nicely executed rollout pass by the quarterback, Charles Cameron, and a nice throw to Joseph Tim.
Going to leave him with fourth down and about 7 to go here as we go under 4 minutes to play here in this football game. Again, a reminder, watch Friday night. We've got some more high school football coming your way as Brecken Providence Tangle. They're members of a new conference this year too, as they have split off from the old Tri-Metro. Monson is in trouble, and he is sacked. Met and dropped there by Marshawn Jones. Lineman's dream here as he gets both hands around the quarterback and brings him down. And Park Center will take over on downs.
So pretty nice fourth down play for the Pirates. Well executed. And it's nice to see the non-starters making some big plays here for the Pirates. They really need to get things consolidated.
And looks like we're going to have a timeout taken here by Park Center, not because they're worried about getting a lot of yards. It's just they didn't not have all the personnel on the field.
Yeah, you got to start with 11 now.
Well, and the thing is, too, of course, when you get later in the game, you're changing up, and
Right.
who's
in, who's the left guard, who's
Yeah.
and that's the confusion that looks like it was happening right there. So good timeout by Coach Strong to get the guys on the sideline. All right, let's make sure who's supposed to be here. Count them up. We got one for every position. Yep. All right, now we can go out and play. And the younger guys, they're excited to get out and play and run around, line up the wrong direction or whatever they're going to do, and just got to get them calmed down, focus a little bit, and let's get out and do the thing.
Well,
Looks
and
like we got two number 73s lined up side by side there. That'll be interesting.
You know that late in the game, for both these teams, you continue to coach. Coaches don't stop just because the game's kind of decided.
Nope, not at all.
Handoff going to Sink here, and he is punished pretty good.
But he has the wherewithal to stay in bounds.
Picked up about 3, so 2nd down and 7 coming up. Ogunti has now come out of the game, and looks like it'll be Schnobrick taking snaps here for the remainder. Handoff here going to Sink, and he will weave his way back to about the line of scrimmage. And looks like we're going to have a little stoppage here. Is a little shaken up late is going to be Malik Taylor. I don't know, he's holding that right knee.
He got kind of spun down there.
God sakes, you hate to see that late in a game like
late
this.
Late in the game, especially with a new player who hasn't had much experience. Hopefully it's not looks like as much ankle as knee, but yeah.
He's holding that knee though.
Yep.
It almost looked like
kind of went
a
the
hard twist.
Yeah, kind of went the hard direction. His foot planted in the ground. Whenever his foot is planted, that's not what you want to see. He had one sack. He had one big.
Here's some walkie-talkie chatter, which makes me think they might be calling a cart to come out. And gosh, you don't want to speculate, but obviously right away you think of something, an ACL or MCL thing like that.
Especially when a guy's holding his knee like that.
Yeah, and
they're bringing him up.
You reach for it right away, and I gotta believe this might be something that's a little bit serious, perhaps. And I hate to see that so late in the game, especially there with this one already decided. So they help Malik over to the cart, and gonna hope it's not anything real serious, but I got the impression that his knee really twisted, torqued pretty hard there.
And knee injuries are never not serious.
Park Center eager in getting up to the line of scrimmage, but they're going to have to wait until obviously their teammate is driven off the field here. Well, we got a chance to hear from new activities coordinator John Hedstrom at halftime, and this is the thing that you don't really want to be doing late in the game, is having to be the guy that carts one of your ball players off. So here we go, going to be a 4th down play. And they go with the handoff here, and that one's going to be stopped well short of the first down as Derek Potter Jackson taking that handoff. And Kennedy will get the football back, but we go under a minute. They might have time for a snap or two is going to be about it. And Park Center coming in with a very nice showing here in their home opener and building on what was a solid win over at Richfield last week, and be off to a good 2-0 start.
And I think that, for the first game, Kennedy showed some sparks of that they're going to be improved, but they've got a lot of work to do between now and their next game next week. And like you said, they do get 3 home games in a row, so they got a chance to solidify themselves a little bit.
Handoff going left side and brought down at the 25-yard line there on that carry was low. But that is going to do it for our ball game tonight, and a nice performance here by Park Center as they get their home portion of their schedule started in style. 42-7 Pirates, our final score here tonight as they pull away here. They led 28-7 at halftime, and they get the only points of the second half to move to 2-0 on the season with this 42-7 victory. We're going to come back and hear from the Pirates down with Ryan in just a moment here. A great start to the season, as we said, for Park Center, and they pick up the win 42-7. We'll be back in just a moment.
So, I got this new family, and I don't know what it is about this one, but she can't seem to put down that toy all day long. Tap, 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 tap. Oh, and she even talks to it. She talks to that more than she talks to him. What's up, bro? Nice shirt. Who's she talking to? Her mom? She talks to her mom a lot.
Mom, can we get some ice cream?
Please, Mom, please.
No, we're having dinner soon.
Please.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of children in foster care who will take you just as you are.
Michael Adams?
Here.
Michael Adams?
Here.
Michael Adams.
Michael Adams.
Students who miss 18 days of school in any grade risk falling behind and not graduating. Absences add up. Keep track at boostattendance.org today.
Adopting a new pet is a rewarding experience. And Shelter Pets makes super pets. Your new best friend will steal your heart, bring you happiness, and enrich your life for years to come. You can make a difference in the life of an animal. Adopt and bring home a Shelter Pet today. To find out more, visit theshelterpetproject.org.
If you drive buzzed, it could cost you around $10,000. You'll face major legal fees, major fines, and steep insurance penalties. You could lose everything. buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
You watch Channel 12 at home. Why not on the go? Channel 12 is online at 12.tv. Watch on your phone, on your tablet. Channel 12 is your local source wherever you go. Just log on to 12.tv. Check out our videos, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, and even watch live events via live stream. So don't wait. Stay up to date with Channel 12 and 12.tv, your local source.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
Wow, these are really good.
You act surprised. Practice makes perfect.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
And welcome back here to Park Center. The Pirates rolling to a 42-7 victory here tonight over Bloomington Kennedy. And Bill, a lot to be excited. We said, okay, we got some playmakers, and they definitely showed up here tonight.
Absolutely. The guys that they wanted to make plays made plays. They got some good, consistent defense, particularly in the second half, and that is very good. And they scored quickly a couple of times, and that really puts the pressure on your opponent to score quickly and in back-to-back possessions. I think they had 3 possessions that they scored on back-to-back-to-back. So that really puts the pressure on your opponent. Park Center's got a couple of nice building blocks to work on. They've got Blake next week here, and that could be a good game for them.
And, overlooked in some of the offensive fireworks that they had. You hold a team like Kennedy to 7 points, too. You got a lot to like there, too. They were able to force some turnovers and, make some stops.
Yeah, Coach Crutch was saying his defense. He was a little bit disappointed that they didn't get the shutout. But they gave up 7 points and they shut them out in the second half. And that's your building block. That's what you're going to start to build your defense on. Is, hey, we've done it. Now we got to do it again. We're going to get better people down the road. But if we do the same things that we've done against lesser opponents, we're going to be okay.
Well, and the other thing too is you're starting to get that expectation of winning. It's you can't really have it until you do it.
Until you do it,
and
yep.
that's kind of where they're heading toward or getting started toward right now, early in this 2014 campaign, and the players have come back out and they are standing by now with Ryan Iverson.
Thanks, guys. I'm here with a couple of stars of the game. We have defensive end Terrence Howard, and we'll start on the offensive side of the ball. Monty, how many? Three catches, 102 yards, 2 touchdowns, almost a kick return. You were all over the place. What'd you think tonight?
I just had to be aggressive the whole game. Coach said, go what I got, and I just brought what I got.
What's been the difference from last year, 2 wins all season long? This year, you're 2-0 already. You guys are playing with a ton of confidence, huge plays on offense. You obviously being a big part of that. Tell me a little bit what's different.
Well, we got a lot of new coaching staff, and we put a new offense in to let everyone score, give them the ball, speed offense, no huddle, just keep it going.
I think the question everyone wants to know is, are you the fastest kid on the team?
No, I think Adam Burgess.
You think he's faster?
Yeah.
And then the second question, you guys sang your school song after the game. I'm glad you're a better football player than you are a singer.
Yeah, that's about right, yeah.
What are some reasonable expectations for you guys going forward? Starting off 2-0, confidence is high. What do you think going forward?
Take every game one by one, just finish. Play hard, give all we got, because the last few years we've been down 0 seasons, 2-win seasons, so time to get it up.
Well, good. Well, congratulations to a big start. You're a big part of that, and keep the good luck up.
All right,
All right, thanks. That's Amani Hooker offense. Let's go to the defensive side of the ball. Terrence, you were all over the place tonight. I know for sure you had 2 sacks. It looked like you were in there causing havoc on every play. How were you able to do that?
I mean, we came out and wanted to establish the tone, and Coach said we just need to go out there and dominate. So every single play, we just try to go out there and go 110%. And I think with my teammates' help, we were just all able to do our jobs and direct their offense.
As a defensive end, you know Kennedy likes to throw the ball. Did you just tuck your ears back and know you were going to have a chance to get to the quarterback tonight?
I mean, yeah, they really like to pass, and so I was pretty eager. Their tackles were doing a good job of. Then the quarterback was doing a good job of letting the ball go fast, but I got in there for 2, and I mean I could have got more, but I'm happy with how I did.
You're a team player. You wanted someone else to have a chance. Yeah. Tell me about this. You got an explosive offense, guys. Like Amani that can take it to the house on any single play. How big is that for you as a defender, taking chances, trying to make big plays, knowing that you got your potent offense on the other side of the ball?
Oh, it's great because when we're ahead, we just have full permission to do what we can do, and when we're up or when we have an offense that we know is going to score points, it puts us in a better position because we know that they're going to have to be playing catch up, and so we play as if that's what they're going to have to do every single game.
Well, super, Terrence. Well, congratulations on a great game and a 2-0 start. Best of luck the rest of the season.
Thank you.
That's Terrence Howard, the defensive star, one of many defensive stars tonight. 2 sacks as a defensive end. 42-7 final score. Park Center with the win. We're going to send it back up to the booth. Jay?
Thanks very much, Ryan, and congratulations to the Pirates as they win it by a score of 42-7. That'll do it for tonight's telecast here from Park Center Pride Stadium. For Bill Hunstock, Ryan Iverson, and all of our 12 Sports crew, good night from Park Center, where your final score is 42-7 Pirates.
Thank you.